For a Panthers touchdown. Wow. 62 yards. Carolina has tied the game.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Fly ball to left field, hit pretty well. And it's gone. Miles Straw hits it out. His second home run of the season, and the Blue Jays are back within one.
A tremendous Thursday afternoon. How are you? Welcome to the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. And man, it is another scorcher. Woo! Don't get a lot of hot days. At least we haven't had this summer. So enjoy the heat right now. Get the water out, get the sunscreen, and away you go. Also, it's Thursday. My favorite game. You have to win, but one day, maybe. The Daily Grand. $1,000 a day for the next 20 years. You can get the lump sum. It's kind of boring. I just want to get the money every day, man. Unbelievable. Keep you grinding a bit, but also be pretty relaxing to get $1,000 a day. Because even if you make $1,000 a day, you know, in the real world, which means, you know, you're making pretty good cake. What's that? $125 an hour. That's only 5 days a week. But you get $1,000 a day. It's every day. Saturday, Sunday, wake up, sleep in, depending on your lifestyle. Maybe you had a late night, wake up at noon, paid for last night already. Love it. So there you go. So as always, brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. Man, we got a loaded show for you today as a guy who was for a player who wasn't a big-time scorer. Like, if I went on the list, because you look at McDavid's and Gretzky's and Messier's and Doug Waits and Ryan Smith, sure. But in this century, would there be a more popular player for the Oilers who wasn't an offensive player than Jason Smith? Honestly, can you think of one who was because Ryan Smith, yeah, blood and guts, but he still scored a lot, right? Jason Smith, defensive, stay-at-home defenseman, block shots, right, had a high pain threshold, wasn't known as a great puck mover, wasn't awful, but offense wasn't his thing. It was defense. And I don't think there's been anybody more popular in this century. And you put him in the history of Oilers. You know, like Dave Semenko, obviously he was a tough guy, right? He had a kind of very clear role. But Jason Smith, man, Oiler fans love that guy. So I'm not sure, some would say Kelly Buchberger, maybe. But I look at some of the other players in Oiler history, like I can't think of any that would really come close. It would probably be Bucky and Jason Smith. And, Jason Smith, man, he played a bigger role just because he played way more minutes. And he is the new head coach of the Edmonton Oil Kings. And it was an exhaustive search by GM Kurt Hill. There's lots of people that he talked to, and, some that you were interested in signing. And then, they ended up getting other opportunities. And, Jason Smith was assistant coach in High Valley in the AHL last year. But obviously he wanted to get back to being a head coach, and now he is. And that's he comes in. They got a good team. Obviously, he's been a head coach in the WHL before, so it's not new to him. And I think it's good timing for him to come in as the head coach. You also have Kyle Chipchura. He'll be there. Devin Prott sticks in, so both of them will stay on as their assistant coach. Schmid still the development coach. They got Curtis Muka as their goalie development coach. And now Jason Smith will be the head coach. He's going to join us coming up in about 15 minutes' time. We'll continue our NFL report. We'll stop in Miami today We also have Ian Furness. He's going to join us at 4:20 because we are now just under 2 hours away from MLB trade deadline. And he's in Seattle where they've, they made a massive move getting Suarez. Sounds like their plane waited. It was delayed for half an hour. Players didn't really know why. No one was saying anything. Well, they delayed it so Suarez and his family could join them on the plane. And it comes on and the place goes nuts because I guess they kind of kept it a secret to the team. So it's kind of a unique thing. So he's now a member of Seattle. They also extended their GM today. So good timing. We'll talk about that trade and some of the other deals that have happened. Obviously, that's the biggest one. The Jays, they get Shane Bieber, who is rehabbing from Tommy John's. He did pitch 2 days ago in Double-A, 4 strong innings. He hasn't pitched much. This is an interesting deal for the Jays. I read the article. Bieber was talking how he feels really good, right? Really confident in his stuff. So they're thinking maybe a few weeks and he could join the Jays. And man, like this guy won a Cy Young before. Now, granted, it's 5 years ago, but he had some really good stuff. Now, the last 2 years, he's been injured. What's unique about Tommy John surgery now in 2025 is that it used to be pretty much a career ender a few decades ago. Now, lots of players get it, and they come back, and many of them, they're almost just as good, in the odd case, better than they were before. So far, that's for the Jays. You got to think they're going to do something else. I still think they need another reliever. We'll see. The Padres, Connor Halley, made a big deal as they get Mason Miller and J.P. Sears from the Athletics. Get a bunch of young guys going back the other way. But, man, like Miller's only 26 years of age. And now DeVries is one of the best prospects in baseball. And the Athletics they're kind of the nomad of MLB right now. They don't really have a home city, right? They thought they're going to Vegas. They haven't got confirmation they can build it there. Like, what you want to talk about how to just completely bungle how to own a team? They've done it. So, and they've got some good young players right now. So they got to get a home stadium, and they can't play in Sacramento. Although it would be great. Like, I would love to see the Athletics next year battling for a playoff spot, playing in their minor league stadium. Just kick the owner in the teeth. You haven't, you're not going to be able to maximize the money for your team. Ooh. So Jake Bird's a Yankee now. Cedric Mullins, the very good fielder. He'll go to to the Mets from the Baltimore Orioles. The Padres also get catcher Freddie Fermin from the Kansas City Royals. The Yankees also got David Bednar from the Pittsburgh Pirates, giving them another closer. Detroit gets Cody Hare from the Rangers. So they're just adding lots of depth guys in their bullpen. So it's been a busy day, and there's 2 hours left. There's still going to be some time for some more moves, so we'll touch on that. Spec, of course, will be by later on. Livingston, lots of racing to discuss. Thomas Hall will join us. We'll get the Blue Jays. They'll be done, and we'll find out exactly what they've done and how they shape up. David Owens for another edition of Thirsty Thursday. As always, we'll take your thoughts. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. This just coming down. Carlos Correa is going back to the Houston Astros from the Twins. Wow. Huh. That's unique, man. The Twins, they got anybody left, Cons? I mean, trading everybody.
Is that 3 players out in the last 3 hours or so?
Yeah, they traded a lot of guys. And yesterday, right? Traded their closer. Like they have dealt a lot of guys away. So that's not good. Hey, Gregor, the Jays love injured pitchers. Yeah. It's true. Very true. Hey, Gregor, tell me we couldn't use a Jason Smith in his prime in today's roster from Sham. Well, 100% if he was a right shot. The owner's left side defense you quite like. But they would be man, if you could find a right shot Jason Smith, oh my God. He would be massively important for the Oilers. Massively. So, well, see where I do think the Oilers are going to upgrade on the right side. I don't think it's going to happen until during the season. So there we go. As always, you can text us 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Hey, guys, I've started to follow baseball more now. Has one team clearly been the winner yet at the deadline? Well, my question to you, Paul, is which team are you cheering for? So that's what I want. If you just joined and now you're a baseball guy, who are you cheering for? I'd be curious about that. Like, I don't want to make an assumption. Not everybody's a Jays fan. Lots of you are, but not everybody in Canada has to be a Jays fan. I get it. There's a lot of Seattle fans because they're closer, technically. Well, not technically, they are closer for sure. So, and then there's Yankee fans. I don't like to call them the bandwagoners. Let's be honest here. Hey, I like the Yankees when they overspent everybody. Sure. Well, we'll see what happens. But hey, Dodgers, maybe some of you like it. Maybe you're a big Shohei Ohtani fan. So I'd like to know. But I don't know if there's been a team that you would say, like, to me, Seattle, obviously, because of who they got. But, Carlos Correa is good. I don't know if I'm not putting him in the Suarez category right now. But, man, you have Suarez cons, and you got the, what do they call him? The big bucket?
Big dumper?
The big dumper. Yeah. So they got some guys who can mash in Seattle for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, hard not to like what they've been able to do. I mean, if you're a Yankees fan, you're probably happy. Jays fan, optimistic maybe. If you get Bieber returning to his prior form. And I like this move for the Mariners because they're right in there, right? They're 5 games above 500, but they're one of those teams that are right in the hunt now for that wild card spot. So I think that's a really good move. Sends a good message to the organization as well. Yeah, Philly's making a couple moves. It's been a really fun, active trade deadline, and I think part of that is because there are so many teams that are just right in the hunt. And you're a couple series wins away from leapfrogging teams ahead of you. It makes for a great stretch on the final season, and puts a little pressure on some of these teams to go out there and make these moves.
Well, yeah, Cal Raleigh leads majors with 41 homers, and now his teammate is Eugenio Suarez, who has 36, which has him in 5th. There's Shohei Ohtani's 2nd with 38. There's not much separating them at all. Now, while those guys are up there, they're also up there. Well, not so much, I guess. Neither one of them is top 10 in strikeouts. So that's for guys who hit the deep ball a lot. They don't strike out a ton, which is good. But hey, if you're a Mariners fan, you got a pretty good chance you're going to see a home run in a fair amount of the games with those two in the lineup now. So that is pretty good. But I don't know if you can I would probably rank Seattle number 1 as far as the biggest improvement. But they also aren't one of the best teams going in. They've just probably closed the gap, I think would be the best way to put it for me.
Yeah. And you factor in J-Rod too, Julio Rodriguez, when he gets going too, another bat in the lineup that can do some damage. So yeah, they could be a fun team to watch here down the stretch, Gregor. And if they make it into the postseason, I mean, we saw Jays Mariners with Randy Arozarena a couple years ago do some damage too. So they got the bats.
Yeah. Also on the Elks, I reported that Nick Anderson, Zach Mathis going to be put on the 4-game injured list. There's a chance that Anderson could come off of that. He might only need to be on it for 4 weeks. We'll see. But it looks like it's a minimum 4 weeks for him. So that's unfortunate. Now they do have DeBlanco who will come in on the defensive side. We saw him last week, and he'll draw in. Also, Brock Mogensen. He's number 43. If you're going to the game or you're watching the game on Saturday, look for him. They're really high on Brock Mogensen. And I wouldn't be surprised that if you see, down the road, like when I look at the age and everything, the future of the Elks linebacking core, when they're all healthy, I think you could see DeBlanco, Mogensen, and Nick Anderson as the trio of the middle linebackers down the road. Not this year, of course, because I got Niles Morgan, but down the road, I wouldn't be surprised to see that at all. I know they're very high on Mogensen. Look for him to get in some special teams and probably maybe even a few reps on the defensive side of the ball. But DeBlanco comes in, and you know what? He's pretty good. They've got some depth at the at the linebacker position. Secondary, they switched it up. Declan had pointed out he was at practice as well, and he noted the change in the defense. That you're going to see Kenny Logan is at the Sam linebacker, and now they got Jalen Garnes. He's going to play safety. He's just a little bit better of a cover guy, is why they're making that move. Mechie's out again for a week, Elks fans, but look for him to return probably next week. And one thing I did notice, it was interesting today at practice. So they're practicing, and I don't know if they did this every day, but today they're practicing. The scoreboard, Connor Halley, had the stats of the Edmonton BC game still up on him. And that to me is a motivation to say, guys, we got embarrassed. That's not happening again.
I like that.
All right. I just a subtle thing, you're like in practice, you look up, oh, jeez, that was an ugly game. Because it had like the yards for and against up there, right? Rushing yards, passing yards, BC, because that's what it has on the score board. Like that's a very subtle reminder that we got to be better. Now, we did see a change in the Elks defense against Saskatchewan, especially on the corners. They're not playing off the ball. And look, lo and behold, they didn't give up a ton. Now you're going to get beat sometimes, but you can't play as passive as they were. I just didn't like it. I thought it was more aggressive, and I would expect that could continue against Hamilton. Now, Bo Levi Mitchell comes in. He's playing great. There's no arguing that. But Bo he's very confident. You watch. I'm going to say it right now, Cons. The Elks are going to get their first interception of a secondary player this week because Bo Levi Mitchell, he's not afraid to chuck it. He throws the ball a ton. Right? No one's attempted more passes than him this season. And BC's even played one more game, and he's still throwing 63 more passes than they have in BC with Nathan Rourke. He loves to chuck it up there, and he's got 15 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions. Right? He doesn't have a ton of interceptions on all the balls he throws, but he'll put some in there. Like there's chances for picks, and we'll see if they come down with one.
Yeah, I mean, 3 interceptions in the season probably should be 2. Robert Carter Jr. last week. I'm sure you saw it on Sports Center. The interception he made.
That was unreal.
Absolutely unbelievable. So I don't know if we'll see anything in that fashion. That'd be pretty cool. But I mean, they have to find that way. They have 1 interception, and it's Jake Serezna, the defensive lineman, has your only interception. For the money you paid for the guys in that secondary and, all the name value you have, the production hasn't been there. And you have to find ways to turn the ball over. And it's not just the secondary. You've got to get pressure and force bad passes from the guys up front. But they have to find a way to get one, Gregor. So that is a bold prediction so far this season.
Yeah. So, no, you know what? At some point, you got to get one. So we'll return. Jason Smith, the one many of you call Gator, will join us next on The Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
The sun is shining, the weather's warm, and some of Edmonton's favorite sports are back in season. If you're looking for the cherry on top of a perfect summer day, check out Play Alberta to experience casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Download the Play Alberta app today and deposit $20 or more with promo code SUMMER to claim a $100 casino bonus. That's promo code SUMMER for a $100 casino bonus on us. Redeemable once per Play Alberta account. Remember, if you gamble, please use your game sense.
The Discover Days sales event has been extended at Volvo Cars Edmonton. Lease a 2025 XC90 plug-in hybrid from 1.49% and save $7,500. Final month extended. Lease or finance a 2025 XC60 from 0.49% and save $4,000. Save up to $7,500 on a 2025 demo XC40. Come and discover the deals now at Volvo Cars Edmonton. Great vehicles, better service. Only at VolvoCarsEdmonton.com.
New crust alert at Papa John's. Your favorite cheese meets your favorite pizza in the new cheddar crust pizza for only $17.99. Papa John's pizza makers created the perfect addition to their crust by melting garlic and herb seasoned cheddar cheese right on top of their fresh original dough that's made with 6 simple ingredients. Try a one-topping cheddar crust pizza today for only $17.99. You better hurry though, because it's only for a limited time. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's, proudly locally owned and operated.
Edmonton Elks Salute to Service, presented by James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers. August 2nd, 1300 hours. EE battles the Ticats. Pitch to Royal Canadian Airport, pregame flyover, the Salute to Service flag football tournament, and more. Tickets start at just $20 at GoElks.com.
Legacy Heating and Cooling jingle auditions take one for Gene Principe. Hey, thanks for being on time.
I'm always punctual. Now, how about some cool beats while I drop the heat?
Ready when you are.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
And a fight in behind the play, and it's Jason Smith and Aaron Downey. Downey and Smith drop the gloves, the second fight of this hockey game. Now, for two teams that don't play against each other a whole heck of a lot, there's some bad blood brewing. Smith and Downey tie up. Aaron Downey missed 5 games with a concussion. Gets the helmet off of Jason Smith and tries to get the left hand going and lands a couple.
Smith then lines up Nathan Smith along the boards.
Down again. Aaron and Smith throwing right hands. Best of friends off the ice, on the ice, a different story. Aaron coming to the aid of Matthias Scharnquist, who absolutely got rocked by the captain about 30 seconds ago. Karen down again for good measure. At the other end, Hensky has a chance. Boucher falls. Hensky, Alex Hensky back at the other end of the ice. It's Garrett and Jason Smith. Garrett and Smith throwing right hands. Best of friends off the ice, on the ice, a different story. Garrett coming to the aid of Matthias Scharnquist, who absolutely got rocked by the captain about 30 seconds ago. The captain, Garrett and Jason Smith. Back at the other end of the ice. Jason Smith, Garrett and Smith throwing right hands. Best of friends off the ice, on the ice, a different story. Garrett coming to the aid of Matthias Scharnquist, who absolutely got rocked by the captain about 30 seconds ago.
2:24. Welcome back. Jason Gregor Show, Sports 1440, Orders Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Hope you're having a lovely Thursday afternoon. Man, it was hot out. I will say, Elks practice in the summertime when it's hot, it's like the greatest thing. You just get to sit back, you relax, wearing shorts on. Oh, man. There's so many different things going on in a football practice, right? They're working on special teams and their O-line, then they're working on some defensive drills. It's quite entertaining, but it's just today is like you just sit outside. I'm like, oh, unreal. It's a little bit different. Hey, I love watching practice in the NHL or WHL, but I'm in a rink and a little bit chillier. So that's the benefit for sure. Now, I was watching the Elks after I was at the Oil Kings press conference where they announced their sixth head coach in franchise history, and none other than former Edmonton Oiler captain, also has been coaching now in the NHL, WHL, as well as the AHL for the past decade. As we get to our big guest of the day, brought to you by the Female Super League, opportunity for girls to expand and develop their game. 12U, 14U, and now a new 16U division. As the PWHL expands, so does the Female Super League. Check it out, femalesuperleague.com. And Jason Smith, the new head coach of the Oil Kings, joins us now. Jason, welcome back to the show, man. How you doing?
Oh, thanks for having me. It's great to be back in Edmonton here. I'm looking forward to getting started here.
So I guess kind of you were a head coach in the WHL before, and then of course you were in Lehigh Valley for the last few years as an assistant coach, and just the intrigue to come back and run your own bench. Like, do you have like long-term aspirations of being an NHL head coach? And everybody who does, which is great, always tells me then you got to be your own head coach, whether it's a junior or in the A.
Yeah, I mean, I think in my coaching, I've kind of lived it as it's come. I mean, kind of the way I lived as a hockey player. I went out and worked hard. I do really enjoy coaching young players, giving them a chance to develop.
Yeah, we'll set this up, Cons. We'll just call them back and get Jay on a better line just over the phone so it can be a little clearer. So it's unfortunate we're going to do it on the stream, but just want to try to clear that connection up a little bit. So they're in the room, I think, of the Oil Kings, where maybe it's not the best connection. So we'll set that up here in a second and get it rocking and rolling. And for those who don't know, of course, Jason Smith retired from the NHL in 2009, and then took some time off. Then was an assistant coach for 2 years with the Ottawa Senators in 15 and 16. Then he wanted to be a head coach. He was a head coach in the Dub with Kelowna in 17, 18, 19. Was with Mark Lamb in 20 in Prince George. And then came the head assistant coach in Lehigh Valley the last 4 seasons in the American League. And Jason's back with us now, just a little bit better of a connection. And so, Jay, it wasn't really a plan for you. Just like, hey, I found like this was the best fit. Then why was this the right fit for you at this time?
Well, I think obviously after speaking with Kirk and doing some background and checking in on the team here and the direction they had been going, and it was a great spot, an opportunity to get back into being a head coach, and with the experience I've taken in over the last bunch of years. And I mean, obviously I have experience in the city. I'll feel comfortable living here, and it's not living in a spot that I've never lived before, or kind of in the middle of nowhere. I get an opportunity to be close to family and friends, and obviously have a great facility to work at on a daily basis.
That's a lot easier of a flight from Kelowna to Edmonton or Calgary to Edmonton than it is to Lehigh Valley, I would think. So that'll make visits with family much easier.
For sure. No, it's definitely in a great location, and like family being closer, and opportunity. My mom can come up and watch some games from Calgary, and I got plenty of relatives here that are still in the area from when I played. So it'll be a comfortable spot away from the rink, and just really excited about getting to the rink and get a chance to meet all the players, and then obviously get things going once camp starts.
How would you describe your philosophy as a head coach?
Well, I think you always want to say in today's hockey age that you're going to be a player's coach, but you also have to have the ability to, give direction, teach, sometimes be firm when you need to be, but also, I want to try and make sure that I'm developing good people, that we're developing good habits away from the rink, around the rink, and then on the ice, I'm going to want to coach a team that has pace, competes very hard, has good stick details, good smart details in your own zone that creates a lot of turnovers. We defend really hard, and we're hopefully going to spend a lot of time playing in the offensive zone.
You played for a lot of different NHL coaches, guys who had a lot of success, from Jacques Lemaire, of course, Craig McTavish. You guys were there when you went all the way to the Stanley Cup final. Pat Quinn when you were in Toronto. John Stevens, Terry Murray, like guys with a lot of experience. When you were playing, were you ever thinking about coaching? Were you a guy who started late in your career and had a notepad of different things, or was coaching something you really didn't think about till after you played?
I think, my last couple of years, obviously being an older guy and being experienced, I think you start to notice things, and to start to take a little more time. I remember sitting with the coaches when I got traded to Philly, and then sitting in Ottawa with Brian Murray, and just getting a chance to really talk the game and get a feel for it. And then I think as a player, you never realize the time and the efforts the coaches put in, looking to help you have success as a player, and building a game plan, and planning practices, and you don't really know until you're in that situation. And I think I got a great opportunity to ease into coaching in Ottawa as a player development guy, and getting a chance to deal with injured players, and just being around the rink and sitting in on meetings was where I really, kind of got the itch from that point to want to get into coaching, and went from there.
Jason Smith joins us, a new head coach of the Edmonton Oil Kings. And having been an assistant coach, a head coach here for a decade, what was the thing you've learned that's the hardest to do as a coach?
Well, I think the biggest thing is once you've been around a little bit, you need to learn the people. I mean, you want to be able to build and develop relationships, but you also want to be able to help them grow and become better players. I think you have to really rely on your staff, rely on good communication, whether it's with the assistant coaches, with it's the medical people, whether it's equipment guys. You want to build that that family type bond in the locker room where everybody's comfortable, and once you have that, you can push players a better direction. You can turn up the competition level by making it a good place where they're coming to the rink. It's fun. The environment is good. If you can build that environment and then build the competition and build the belief in your group, then you have a chance to do real positive things as a team.
Jason, I remember talking to a lot of your teammates when you were the captain, and I spoke to a few of the players that you coached. And the same story I got, they're like, Jason had a very unique ability to get you to follow without speaking a lot, right? When you were a player, your actions spoke louder than your words. Obviously, you spoke, you're a captain, right? You had to speak up at times. But, like some guys, like, Doug Wade's very, a guy who will talk all the time. And that's great. But as a coach, it was interesting hearing the players that you're not like some guys can say a lot by saying a little. Would that be a fair assessment of your coaching style?
Yeah, well, I mean, especially now, I think, and having been around a little bit, you've got some guys that you can speak forever and tell a story when you're trying to get them to learn something. Other guys, you can take 10 seconds and, be direct and firm on a video, and they can learn from that. And then, some guys need to be kind of, taken out and kind of moved around like a chess piece to get them to understand something. And I think, as a captain, when I played, I mean, there was times when, I would yell or, give direction or, change the tone. But I think if you can go about different ways of trying to motivate guys, I think that's something that's important as a coach. I think I know you're going to have players you can be harder on, and there's going to be some players you can't be, but you need to find that kind of sweet spot with each guy, and then have that plan to attack the rest of your group with the right direction, that everybody gets a bite at that and is learning what you're trying to teach.
Jason Smith joins us. Now, Jay, when you played, you loved offense, run and gun. That was your game. You're up ice, you're cheating on offense. Obviously, I'm kidding. But as a coach, like your philosophy, some people think, he's a defensive-minded guy. He's going to be a defensive-minded coach. And that's not always the case at all. You look at the game today, and I think there's much more of an emphasis on creating offense. A lot of times it used to be, okay, once you cross center, do whatever you want. And I don't think you can do that anymore. Like, you really got to work on it. What have you learned? We know, the defensive side of the game, but how can you help develop offensive tendencies?
Well, I think the biggest thing now is the ability to have your defenseman involved in the play in the offensive zone is a great way to generate offense. I think if you can cause a team to lose their coverage and get out of position by creating motion, and obviously you have to get the puck to the net, but having a net presence, having those guys that are willing to battle around the net for rebounds is obviously a necessity in hockey now. A lot of goals, as much as there's movement in the offensive zone, there's still an area where most goals have been scored in hockey the last bunch of years, and that's that 15, 20-foot area around the net between the dots, and you got to be able to have the will and the courage to get in there as a player. Those are kind of starting points, but I like to have the D, get involved and be active, going down the wall, slashing across the middle of the rink, going low to high in a forward, climbing up the wall. There's lots of different ways to, try to create offense. I think you have to, obviously for me, I need to continue to watch some more video here of the group and kind of see things from players that, I think we can really benefit from, which will help our team structure, and we'll go from there. I think, we're going to be a team that's going to start a lot of our offense by getting the puck back and and creating turnovers by having good sticks and having good gap in the neutral zone. Then we can transition, and if you can attack on transition, you have a chance to score before you're out, before the numbers are equal in your zone.
Jason Smith, new head coach of the Edmonton Oil Kings, joins us. You were the head coach in Kelowna for 3 years, and then you work with Mark Lamb for another year in Prince George. Then you go back to the American League, and now you're back with men, right, where they're pros and that's their job. And the WHL level, the young players are all aspiring to get to that level. How do you have to approach it differently with a junior player than with a pro player?
Well, I think at the pro level, the players obviously have the goal of playing at the NHL. And at junior, I mean, players dream of playing in the NHL, but they still have a lot of steps in that, on that trail to get there. And I think, by speaking to them about steps along the way, the journey just doesn't go from, junior hockey direct to the NHL. There's very few players in this day and age that are, your elite players that just jump past the developmental levels, being the American Hockey League, or some guys even take stops in the East Coast League. So I think if you can relay that message and give the players some direction and a path, that's the best way of teaching them and getting them to buy into what you're pushing and selling as a staff to your group. If you can add some steps into that puzzle that's not complete, and add some tools to the toolbox that they already have, that's going to give them a better opportunity to, have that hockey journey that they all want.
And Jay, do you have, I remember talking to Rocky Thompson once, and he said, sometimes he'd lighten it up, and he had a few highlights of his career every now and then. It would make things. Are you a coach like you're going to be talking to the guys, especially now in Edmonton? You could go down the hallway and there's a whole library of highlights of Jason Smith's career, whether it's offensive, scoring a few big goals, physical, playing all that. Do you like to kind of relate to the players by some of the highlights of the coach?
You know what? I mean, I think there's parts of the year where you need to lighten things up, and I think there's different ways you can do it, whether it's a video or whether it's putting in, I'll go back to, there's one time when Mac T was coaching us, and we were having a tough go, a couple games, and as a team defending in our zone, and mid video, the late Brian Ross had a circus music come on and carnival going around and around, and it was like that dun, 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 and that was what he was showing as was going on in our D zone, and that lightened everything up. And I think soon after that, we kind of turned things around and got back on track. But I think sometimes there has to be some humor. I mean, obviously there's times in a year where the tension will be up a little bit, and emotions will be thriving, but you want to try and, as a head coach, you want to try and maintain that steady feel, and you're going to really rely on my staff to help relay messages, and I think we'll do really well.
And lastly, Jay, back in Edmonton, it's a building you mentioned it's the city very well. The opportunity to watch the NHL on your off nights when you're around, you take advantage of that? Is there big benefits, or just being a fan of hockey? Will we find you spending maybe a few nights a year watching the Oilers and just NHL in general, now that you can do it in the same city?
Yeah, you know what? I mean, I think that's obviously a positive option. I do watch a lot of hockey. I mean, over the last bunch of years. I mean, whether it's on the tube or watching a lot of games from different teams and styles of play on my computer, and have an opportunity where the rink's right here. Definitely might have to check that out and make some more trips to the rink for sure.
Awesome. Well, Jason, congratulations. Welcome back home, I guess, for you. It was I know it's the longest place you ever played in one place. Edmonton's home. I know you got a lot of family in Alberta, and you and your wife living in Kelowna, and your in-laws there. So it's going to be very close for everybody from a family perspective. Looks like a great move, and you got a good team. So should be a fun year. Thanks so much for your time, and best of luck. We'll talk you throughout the year.
Appreciate the time. Thank you. Take care.
Jason Smith, the new head coach for the Edmonton Oil Kings. And you know what? That's a big move for them. A guy who has a lot of coaching experience and just has a very unique way in how he speaks. There was a few of the Oil Kings players there, and these guys are young. Like when you're a 17, 18, 19-year-old, you know who Jason Smith is. And you should have seen the players. Like they were amped up. Coach comes over, hey guys, how you doing? And they're just like young men all the time, but they're pretty fired up that that's who their head coach is. It helps, and they got a good team. I think the Oil Kings are going to be one of the competitive teams, especially with Medicine Hat getting decimated by losing their guys to NCAA, a few of their top guys. The Oil Kings, their GM, Kurt Hill, who I think we're going to have on the show tomorrow. I think he read that and addressed it. It's already made some moves. So should be a good season for Oil King fans. Take a quick break, and we will come back. We'll update you. Of course, it's a trade deadline day in the major leagues of baseball. About an hour and 20 minutes remaining. There's some talk about some other big deals. They're hearing rumblings from the baseball insiders. We'll get to that more. And another edition of Thirsty Thursday on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is your #1 air conditioning company. So when you can't take living in oppressive heat any longer, call Legacy. Call Legacy. If your hot, sticky sheets keep you up all night, call Legacy. Call Legacy. If you've decided that you deserve to be cool and comfortable, call Legacy. Call Legacy. And with no payments, no interest for 1 year, it could only be Legacy Heating and Cooling.
And now Action Electrical's testing team is on defense duty. They're the guardians of safety and compliance, a critical part of any lineup.
Precisely. They perform rigorous safety and code compliance testing for commercial operations. Think of them as the referees, ensuring everything is up to standard before disaster strikes.
Their preventative plays are legendary, spotting faults early. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
New crust alert at Papa John's. Your favorite cheese meets your favorite pizza in the new cheddar crust pizza for only $17.99. Papa John's pizza makers created the perfect addition to their crust by melting garlic and herb seasoned cheddar cheese right on top of their fresh original dough that's made with 6 simple ingredients. Try a one-topping cheddar crust pizza today for only $17.99. You better hurry though, because it's only for a limited time. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's, proudly locally owned and operated.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. Stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. TNA Wrestling makes its explosive debut at the Expo Center on Friday, September 26th and Saturday, September 27th for back-to-back nights. Buy your tickets online today. Learn more about what's happening at the Expo Center by visiting the calendar of events online at edmontonexpocenter.com today.
Want some good news? St. Albert Dodge is holding the biggest sale of the year on their in-stock Ram 1500 Sports. Every single one on the lot is discounted by a whopping $14,000. Yeah, 14 grand. And St. Albert Dodge has the best selection in Alberta. Over 90 Ram 1500 Sports to choose from with great packages, including the Night Edition and GT models, all $14,000 off the ticket price. Get down there and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
Your Edmonton Riverhawks are heading back to the 90s, Saturday night at 7. Come celebrate the 30th anniversary of Remax Field with a salute to the decade it was built in, plus a stadium replica giveaway.
Get your tickets today to watch the Hawks play at GoHawks.ca.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
I want to tell you a story about the house went blue. I come home.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Japa Machinery. Japa is digging deep on their 50-year history, supporting Alberta's construction industry with their line of special edition blackout excavators. Visit japamachinery.com for all the details.
Tricks, touchdowns, and home runs. Get it all with the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
2:45. Welcome back. Thursday afternoon, the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. I hope you're having an awesome day. No new trades since we updated the last ones, but there's some rumblings. Of course, we did tell you about the Carlos Correa deal. So there's some rumblings, though, when you read Olney and all those other guys, that some other deals that are potentially getting closer. Ooh. We'll see. I got to think the Jays might be doing, got to be adding another pitcher here in the last hour. Don't you think? Like, I know they got the great starter, but, well, used to be great starter. Hasn't pitched in 2 years. So we'll see. Also, we're going to have to talk about Summer McIntosh. And I don't know if any of you watched the World Championship swimming. Like, she is absolutely killing it right now. She's 3 for 3 in gold medals. And the longest standing record in swimming is the 200-meter butterfly. And so it's been held for 16 years. And she came also close, but her interview afterwards is what I loved. Like, she was seething because she's like, man, I've never felt this great. In her words, she took one extra breath, and that's the difference it cost her. She was like 16 to 100ths of a second, like super close. So it's like second fastest swim ever. But like, she's in the pool, she's swearing like, you never, like, I love competitors like that. Like, she wins the gold, she crushes everybody by 3 seconds, but she wants the world record. Like, when you're that good, I love that you go for it. So we'll talk a little bit about that. But first, it's another edition of Thirsty Thursday. And this comes at a real good time because it is a long weekend. The weather is unreal. 30 degrees. This is prime. Sit on your deck, sit on the beach, wherever you're at, having a beer, enjoying it. As always, brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor. Liquor, 2 locations, of course, southeast side on 50th Street, 92nd Ave, and or 90th Ave, sorry, and on the OG location, St. Albert Trail. And, of course, 118th Avenue, the best selection in town. No debate. If you want beer, you want non-alcoholic choices of cocktails, beers, and you want the real cocktails, wine from anywhere in the world. These guys, it's like, where's Waldo? When you come into Sherbrooke, they got anything you want. If you think it, they've got it. And David Owens joins us once again. Dave, how you doing, man?
Fantastic. How you doing?
Good. You been biking lately? Any trips? What's happening?
I got a little bit of biking in. I've got some friends coming into town from Calgary tomorrow, so we're going to make them suffer in the heat.
I was just going to say, so you got to find some shade there.
It's going to be a day tomorrow. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, jeez. Well, I guess the good news is when it's that hot on your bike and you get limbered up pretty quick.
You get limbered up pretty quick, and you know that beer tastes just that much better at the end of it, right?
Oh, yeah. Like, what? So, like, how much are you biking tomorrow? Or Saturday?
Yeah, tomorrow, I don't know, probably 24K or something like that. So it'll be a couple hours.
Yeah.
A couple hours out there.
Not bad.
Yeah, not so bad. Not so bad. You know, the mountain bike,
Yeah, well, you're doing mountain biking. I just want to clarify. People are like, what do you mean 24K on a road bike? No. You're in the bush. And
24K on a mountain bike's kind of like doing about 60 or so on the road bike.
Yeah.
You're depending on training.
You still hitting trees or stumps or
once in a while? Once in a while.
All right.
They just jump out at you.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're moving, not you. That's
right.
amazing.
That's right.
So what are we doing today?
Okay, man, this is the long weekend banger 6-pack we put together. So we got these packs that are being built at the store as we speak. You can come in and ask for it.
The long weekend banger pack. I love these packs, man.
Yeah, you know, you can sit on your patio, barbecue, maybe pull up some old video of Gator just standing people up at the blue line. Right.
Oiler fans would actually they would love it because it was funny. Connor was like, he's trying to find goals for Jason Smith online. Can barely find a highlight, but man, you want to find the one arm stand up. That was his go-to.
Nobody stood people up at the blue line better than that guy. That guy had like 2 or 3 like solid highlight ones every night. And it was crazy.
Well, I was saying it earlier. I'm not sure there was a more popular non-elite, like he's not a superstar offensive player.
Yeah, him and Bucky.
But Oiler fans, like, they love Smith.
Yeah,
just like played. And I get why, because how could you not like him? Like, he's in your face. He's doing a lot of the little things that no one wants to do, and he does it extremely well. He'll stand up for his teammate, and every now and then he'd score a pretty nice goal, and he was always super jacked when he scored.
That's right.
So, yeah. All right. So what are we tasting?
All right, we're going to start off with Brasserie Paul Bartlett Saison from à la Derive in Gatineau, Quebec. So this is a Saison, and they use a dune pepper, which is a...
I was going to say, I just took a sip of it as you're speaking. It tastes completely different.
This is a wild Quebec spice. So this brewery is known for using local ingredients and things like that. So it's also known as an alder catkins.
But what did you call it? Dune spice?
Dune pepper.
Dune pepper. Ooh. See, what I like about it is for people that are listening, you can go there, you can try all of these. And that's what's great about it, because you don't know if you like a beer. So sometimes you want to commit and buy the full 6-pack of all one kind.
That's right.
So here you get 6 different ones, and any one you like. Then you go back in and get the whole 6-pack.
This is kind of fun. It's light, it's refreshing. It's a saison, which should be, these summer beers. It's crisp. The pear isn't overpowering, I don't find in the beginning.
No, I don't find it tastes like pear at all.
Nice little spice at the end.
No, it's honestly, it's a very different type of beer I've ever had before.
Yeah.
So it's got a unique flavor. Like it's not overpowering by any stretch. It doesn't have like some beers that have a little bit of fruit, you definitely can taste it. This one you can't.
No, this is kind of that wild spice, cedar, some nuts.
Yeah, I taste it more spicy than I do Perry.
Yeah. That's great.
Perry's not a word, but I just made it up.
Yeah. So from there, we're going to roll into the Wyatt Rose. This is a ranch water jalapeno lemonade.
Yeah. And for anybody who's watching online, when it says it's ranch water, like it looks like water.
It just looks like water.
Like it's crystal. I've never seen a beer that's like literally looks like water.
That's right. So they've made this with some blue agave, tequila, jalapeno, lemon, and soda. So this is one of those ready to drink cocktails, ready to go for you. The nose on that jalapeno hits.
Okay, so this isn't a beer. I'm like, okay, I'm losing my mind.
No.
Okay, geez, I didn't.
We're mixing it up today. We got a variety of different things.
This is the blue agave tequila.
So
God, that is good.
That is good. That jalapeno just comes across in the nose and just a really good crisp flavor of that. So if you're a margarita lover, this is for you.
Livingston's probably speeding now.
Throw some shrimp.
He loves his tequila.
Right, throw some shrimp on the Barbie and one or two of these.
That has a very subtle after kick. Right, that's spicy.
Yeah, the jalapeno definitely comes in the back.
Yeah.
It's lovely.
You're drinking something there. If you like spice, you're gonna want that for sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So there you go. So we're all refreshing with that. So now we're gonna move into Yukon Brewing, and this is their Razzmatazz supercharged blend of raspberry lemonade and crisp fizzy ale. So it's a radler. Now, most radlers are a blend of beer and fruit juice, so they come in like 2 to 3% alcohol. This one has been jazzed up to 6%. So this has got some kick to it, along with that raspberry lemonade flavors. But it's big, tart, super crushable.
Oh my god! Like I love raspberries, and there's just a subtle. Geez, this could be dangerous for this kid because I love raspberries.
And just the nose on it, like it's a natural raspberry flavor too.
Yes, yeah, like very much so.
You can get that really fake raspberry flavor sometimes that are in candies or sweet tarts, things like that.
Oh my god,
this tastes like a natural raspberry.
That is really good.
That is. Really
good. But we've been doing this now for months.
Yeah.
Of anything I've never tried before, that might be the favorite sip I've ever had.
There you go.
Like that is really good. Now, granted, I love raspberries.
Yes,
but it's not like. Oh,
it's super refreshing.
It is totally.
Yeah, really crisp. Like I said, crushable is the right word for it. I think you put this nice and cold out of the fridge.
I guarantee anybody who has that is going down fast.
That is a patio pounder.
Whoa,
for sure.
Jeez, you got all the terms. Patio pounder. Right? I like that. That's very true.
It's not our first rodeo.
Touche. Now, is this the coach's drink? Core values. That's right. What it should be.
The core
value shortcake. Every coach out there, that should be just their can that they sit on, because you hear it all the time. What are our core values?
Oh,
right?
geez, yeah.
Or maybe your boss at work, right?
That's right.
What's your core values?
So what are the core values?
Yeah, classic.
So this is a cider. So this is an apple and strawberry cider with lactose. And so this is a wild fermented. They're out of Canmore, sorry. They do a lot of wild fermented stuff, really creative small batch, which we're starting to get on our shelves, which is great to see. And the lactose will bring in sort of a sweetness to it, which hence the shortcake name to it today.
Oh, dude.
It's
a really good mix. I like it.
Oh yeah, super fruit forward. It's almost like having you get that mouthful of a shortcake with the ice cream on it a little bit, and it's
but it's not sweet.
It's not overly sweet.
No, because I don't like drinking sweet, to be bluntly honest. So no.
And nor have you been a cider guy before.
No, and I know that's as a cider. This is you've done it. You find ways to be like, oh, Greg, you should try this. Oh, here's a dark lager. What? Well, it's actually pretty good. This is
pretty good.
This is actually because you know me, I don't like cider, but this one is. If you would have said do a taste test, I never would have picked that.
No,
never to taste like that. So that is
yeah, super fun.
Well, you could mix these on ice.
Oh yeah,
and I would think these are just perfect.
Oh, pour that over ice would be amazing.
Now, is this really a creamsicle?
So this is
oh my god, I'm probably gonna crush this.
This is the orange creamsicle sour. This is out of Backcountry Brewing in Squamish, BC.
So this is the beer.
This is a beer, yeah.
A sour creamsicle beer. Are you kidding me?
That's right. That's right. I mean, look at the color of that too. Eh?
Yes.
That is, I mean, it's the bang on the color of an orange creamsicle.
It does. Yeah.
Yeah. So Backcountry, they've been on the BC beer scene for quite some time. So all about quality and pretty silly about some pop culture things that are out there. So their rotating lineup of sours, hazies, and lagers are all usually wrapped up in some pretty funny movie quote names and things like that. Oh, it smells like a creamsicle.
Well, it tastes like the name. Sometimes the name doesn't match anything, but basically an orange creamsicle that's sour. That's exactly what this is. But not some sours are like,
some
ooh,
sours are super tart. This is not super
This
tart.
is not tart. And it's hard to wrap my head around a creamsicle that tastes a little tart right now.
Just
because I love creamsicle. Like creamsicle is my favorite.
Is your favorites?
Yeah. Like the Revel, okay,
Yeah.
Fudgsicle, no, but creamsicle is always my favorite.
They had more integrity, right? They held together better than the old Revels.
That is true. Yeah. They didn't melt as quickly.
Yeah, you didn't lose the chocolate, and there was a waste of chocolate that fell on the ground all the time.
Sour creamsicle. God.
That is that's pretty bang on for a creamsicle.
It is.
And
lastly
but not least, here we are going to finish off with this is a collab between Boombox Brewing in Vancouver and Irrational Brewing here, and this is a triple dry hopped triple IPA. This is
so what does that mean?
Well, so a triple dry hop, so it means they've added dry hops at the end to really bang on that aroma. So it's not about pulling flavor and so much out of it. It's more about getting all that aroma out of those hops. So after it's done brewing, they throw in. And so most of them stop at a double dry hop.
You can really smell that bad boy.
This has gone to the full triple hop. So you're getting next level hop intensity with this. And with that also, you are getting next level. We're at 10% alcohol with this one.
Next level hop intensity.
Ooh.
My God. It's like you're a British guy with all the adjectives. I like it. Next level hop intensity. So
that is, mango, pineapple, citrus peel, super dank. Oh,
super dank. That's why we have you in here, man. I just there's a lot better descriptions than the original Strutty. It's like a bouquet of flavors. So yeah,
this is something. This is a big beer. Big beer. This is one of those. Maybe you want to share this with a buddy. At, 10%.
It's 10%.
10%.
Yeah, I was just gonna say one sip of this. I'm like, whew. What kind of smacks you as you're drinking it?
Yeah, and that's that sort of get that dank. When I was use the word dank,
yes,
attach that to that sort of punch you got later on in it,
yeah,
and that's that sort of alcohol, boom coming through.
So yeah, well, what's great about because all these beers or the cocktails that we had here, you sit out as you mentioned on a long weekend. When you said you're going to the lake, you're sitting with you in a backyard, having a fire, you're on the deck, wherever you're going. It's a real good mix. Yeah. You get this 6-pack, your friends come over, and you just split them. Say, hey, well, because they're the super cans.
Yeah.
So you get to
everybody gets to try something different.
And but I think we can all agree the boom box, the rookies, they might have to stay away from that one.
Not a rookie.
I think that would be more for the veteran consumers in your house. Hey, young 18-year-olds, and I know you're open for everything, but I don't know if your palate's refined enough to try the boom box.
Yeah,
not sure.
Like this is, you have to be able to, if you can handle like 6 crazy beers at the old, Rexall building, then maybe you could go with one of these things.
Yeah.
But
the raspberry one from Yukon Brewing, unplugged it. It's the Razmanad Turbo Radler, and it's coming in. You can get the 6-packs. You can try all of these, and the tequila one was the Wyatt Rose Ranch Water. What's interesting about it, that ranch water looks exactly as the same head of the ranch golf course.
Right.
It totally does. I might have to send that to Murr. See if the fellas they should get that out of the ranch.
There, right?
That should be a no-brainer for Murr and the fellas out there.
That's right. Yeah, these are the groups out of the Calgary and the spirits come from that Georgian Bay Spirits in Ontario. So
and Are they available at the 50th Street location?
Yep. Yeah, they're putting them together as we speak right now.
Because we just had Dino says he's gone by there and said they're still en route sometimes because he's right there. So will they have them right now? He wants to know.
Yeah, they should have them right now. I just saw the post out a bit ago and got the thumbs up.
Okay, there you go, Dino. So stop in on 50th Street, buddy. You'll be right there. I like it. But this pack I like it because what's great about a 6-pack sometimes with these, because you can try different things at once. Yeah. Right. And I think there's a lot of people now who'd like to experiment and they're so different from the tequila one. You got the pear, but the spicy creamsicle, thumbs up. Even core values. Not gonna lie, the shortcake cider.
I got you this time.
You did get me. The shortcake cider was good, but God, that raspberry one, are you kidding me? Like,
that's pretty intense.
Like, I'll tell you right now, though, whoever gets it, they're like, I'm not sharing. Like they'll probably take a first sip. No, it's terrible. You don't want it. Man, they're good. Yeah. So that's awesome.
Think about all these just super cold. They're going to be so great.
Yeah. And what they're called again when you stop in at Sherbrooke?
The Long Weekend Banger 6-pack.
Well, just say you heard it on Sports 1440. They'll know which one you're talking about for sure. So enjoy that. But remember, they sell out quick. I know anytime we do one of these bangers, they sell out fast. So if you're looking for something new to try, check it out at Sherbrooke. And of course, if they are sold out, they got a massive selection of everything else. I noticed, I saw you guys, there was a shortage there. There was one type that was short, and then you got it all on the shelves, and it was just like a big celebration of people online.
Oh, so. Yeah. Oh, there's always something coming and going there. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, great stuff. And Dave, we'll talk to you again next Thursday.
Yeah, you bet.
You betcha. That's Dave Owens from Sherbrooke Liquor, your one-stop shop for everything that you like, from alcoholic across the board to non-alcoholic. They got some unbelievable non-alcoholic beers. If you've yet to try the Guinness, just go in there and say, I want to try the Guinness. Pour it to your friends. I can tell you they can't tell the difference from the real Guinness. Tastes just as good, but maybe if you want to do some striping where it's one alcoholic, one non-alcoholic, way you go. Let's get to the Con Man and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling, home of the no payments, no interest for 1 year on your AC unit. Oh, do you need it this weekend? Stay cool all summer. LegacyHeating.ca.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
As we approach the Major League Baseball trade deadline, Toronto Blue Jays acquiring former Cy Young winner Shane Bieber from the Cleveland Guardians for pitching prospect Kyle Steven. They also brought in catcher Brandon Valenzuela for third baseman Will Wagner. That is with the San Diego Padres. Other big deals of note: Ryan O'Hearn and Ramon Laureano going to the Padres from the Orioles. You've also got the Astros acquiring Carlos Correa from the Minnesota Twins. The Yankees bring in David Bednar from the Pirates for Rafael Flores, Edwin Perez, and Brian Sanchez. And the Mets get Cedric Mullins out of Baltimore. Earlier on today, you had the Padres bringing in JP Sears and Mason Miller from the Athletics as well. On the diamond today, just 3 games on the schedule. Yankees Rays in a rain delay, bottom of the 5th. Yankees on top 7-4. Coming up at 5, Braves taking on the Reds. And then at 7:40, the Mariners hosting the Texas Rangers. Riverhawks are going to make it 3 straight against the Night Owls tonight. First pitch, 7 o'clock down at Remax. In the CFL, Week 9 kicks off with the Stamps visiting Ottawa. Vernon Adams Jr. is out for Calgary. So former Carolina Panthers quarterback TJ Walker makes his CFL debut. That gets run at 5:30. At 6 o'clock, the NFL has their Hall of Fame game featuring the Chargers and the Lions. And one game in the WNBA tonight. Valkyries visit Washington to take on the Mystics. Tip-off set for 5:30. You can make it 3 World Championship gold medals for Canadian swimmer Summer McIntosh as the 8-year-old won the 200-meter butterfly, just shy of a world record. Coming up in hour 2 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by Travis Wingfield of the Miami Dolphins Podcast Network, and we'll speed things up in the Cantork Racing Report with Colin Livingston. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
It's Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
The sun is shining, the weather's warm, and some of Edmonton's favorite sports are back in season. If you're looking for the cherry on top of a perfect summer day, check out Play Alberta to experience casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Download the Play Alberta app today and deposit $20 or more with promo code SUMMER to claim a $100 casino bonus. That's promo code SUMMER for a $100 casino bonus on us. Redeemable once per Play Alberta account. Remember, if you gamble, please use your game sense.
Mr. Rooter rides in a hot air balloon.
Oh, wow. You can really see it all from up here. The river crossing the city like a water line, the Walterdale like PVC pipes, and the cars circling the Anthony Henday like waste swirling a toilet bowl. Which reminds me, which way to the bathroom?
There's no
Thursday
toilet in a hot air balloon.
Well, I will have to remedy that.
For a plumber who soars above the others, trust Mr. Rooter.
I'm Colin Livingston, president of Cantork. Since 2016, we've been at the forefront of hydraulic torque wrenches in Canada. I'm delighted to share our latest venture, in-house production for quicker turnaround, superior quality, and heightened versatility. Experience excellence at cantork.com.
The Discover Days sales event has been extended at Volvo Cars Edmonton. Lease a 2025 XC90 plug-in hybrid from 1.49% and save $7,500. Final month extended. Lease or finance a 2025 XC60 from 0.49% and save $4,000. Save up to $7,500 on a 2025 demo XC40. Come and discover the deals now at Volvo Cars Edmonton. Great vehicles, better service. Only at Volvo Cars Edmonton.
Next Thursday.
Yeah, you bet.
New crust alert at Papa John's. Your favorite cheese meets your favorite pizza in the new cheddar crust pizza for only $17.99. Papa John's pizza makers created the perfect addition to their crust by melting garlic and herb seasoned cheddar cheese right on top of their fresh original dough that's made with 6 simple ingredients. Try a one-topping cheddar crust pizza today for only $17.99. You better hurry though, because it's only for a limited time. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's, proudly locally owned and operated.
Silent Rides is one of Alberta's premier bus charter companies. With state-of-the-art motor coaches, we provide our customers with the safest and most reliable ground transportation. Our seatbelt-equipped buses have become the preferred carrier for many local sports teams, tours, corporate outings, and other various travel across Western Canada. For more information and to request a quote, call 1-877-748-0991 or visit silentrides.ca.
If you're an experienced RV salesperson, you have to be concerned about the state of the industry right now. With so much uncertainty, companies are downsizing their sales teams, especially at new RV stores. Right, Rick?
That's right, Bob. Nobody knows what the future holds. But here at Noble RV, we're hiring. And we're looking for a very particular kind of RV salesperson. Of course, experience with used RVs is always an asset here.
This role requires a good sense of what the used RV owner needs, how to help them solve problems, and enjoy more of the great outdoors.
You got it, Bob. It's technically a sales position, but with none of the rat race you deal with now. You'd be more of a problem solver, helping RV owners with their ongoing experience. Someone with a few miles on the odometer is the ideal candidate. If you're ready for an exciting new career at Alberta's biggest used RV store, come find me, because there's a future for you here with us.
And that's Noble.
NobleRV.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Leading Edge Physio. We treat pain and injuries head to toe and some other issues that might surprise you, like incontinence, vertigo, neuropathy, and cognitive issues. We invest in the technology, techniques, skills, and people who know how and what to fix. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Hey, Deck, did you have your interview with 309? Welcome back, Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Declan Kluger running things over at YouTube and Facebook. So say hello to him in the chat. Give him a thumbs up. We always appreciate that. The Gregor Show is always presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Alberta's only regulated online gambling website where 100% of the revenue stays right here. You like to support Alberta? And if you like to wager on instants or lottery or games, do it at PlayAlberta.ca. So even if you lose, you still win. It's always good. We got a lot of text flying in, 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. As there's lots going on, some updates on the MLB trade deadline. We're 50 minutes away, and still, some of the big name starters still out there. Alcantara and Galen and Kelly and Cease and Morton. There's been lots of talk about them, but none of them have moved. Now, anything can happen in 50 minutes time, but so far, none of those bigger name starters have moved. The Astros did get Jesus Sanchez, the outfielder from the Marlins, for Gusto and Jariscom and Valencia. We talked about Carlos Correa going back to Houston. So, man, Houston's loading up now a little bit. And you look at, there's so many teams who feel that they're right in it. That's what makes this, very interesting time. Detroit, Toronto, and Houston are leading their divisions. And then the Yankees, the Red Sox, the Mariners, and the Rangers tied for the final wild card spot. The Guardians are 2.5 back, the Royals, the Rays. So Houston's, obviously, they feel like, they're in a real good spot. So they're going to try to load up. Texas has actually been on fire lately, closing the gap. So they've traded off some guys. They've added some guys. You look in the NL, you have the Cubbies and the Phillies, the Padres, the Brewers, the Dodgers, the Mets, all in as we speak. The Reds, not out of it. They're 3 back, but there's not as many teams. There's the Reds, and then your Cards 5.5. The Giants, they're done. The Giants I don't see in the race, so there's not as much of a race for as many teams in the NL. But the race still for who's going to get to avoid the wild card games, that's going to be very, very crucial. So I look forward to it, and I look forward to the next 50 minutes to see what's happening. The Dodgers just got Alex Call from the Nationals. That's just coming down here seconds ago. The other news for the Elks is not great on the injury front, as reported that Nick Anderson is going on the 6th game, as well as Zach Mathis. So that's obviously not good, right? Now, hey, the good news for the Elks is that you do have DeBlanco. So, Robbie Smith likely to get back in the lineup. That's good. Royce Mechie, he's not going to play. I don't think Muaga Clements is going to play with the knee. Bonhomme also questionable. Don't think he's going to play. So they got a few guys banged up, unfortunately, right now for the green and gold. But opportunity knocks. Someone else has to step up. And I think if I looked at one thing for the Elks that's a must, if they want to win against a pretty good Hamilton team who has won 5 in a row, is they got to be able to run the ball. And I know that last week, you're like, Gregor, they're going to run the ball. You joking? Fair. It's totally valid, because they haven't rushed the ball at all. It hasn't been good enough, flat out. So they're going to have to be a lot better in the run department. You got to commit to it. Your O-line's got to create some holes, and you just simply, the Elks got to be better. Like you can't go into a game and have 5 combined rushing attempts for your running backs and think you're going to win. I don't think you can do it. So we'll see. The problem is we're going to commit to the run, but if you're only getting 1 or 2 yards every time in the run, I get why you go away from it. If the 20 Elks were in second down 20 times last game, 15 of them were 2nd and 7 or longer. So 75% of the time they were in 2nd and long. Nothing on first down. Nothing. So now you're 2nd and 10, 2nd and 9, 2nd and 8. No thanks. So to me, the offense will need at least a pulse on the running game. The Jays just make another trade. They've acquired a catcher, Brandon Valenzuela, from the Padres for Will Wagner, who, of course, just had some time off, went to see his dad get inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame into Cooperstown. But so get catcher. He's played. Now, this is more of a minor league deal. It's kind of interesting. Do they think, probably just getting some depth in case of Kirk's injury? I would guess. I also don't think that this is going to be the end of it at all. for the Jays. I would hope not. I still think they got to get another pitcher if they can, but there's another. So Will Wagner, moving on to San Diego. Man, the Chargers don't make this many moves, Cons. Padres making moves all over the place. Suddenly you might be walking in here with a Padres jersey on tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to dig out the old cap if it goes this way. Well, Chargers play tonight, so I got the Chargers hat on now. But yeah, I mean, it's the Padres know what they have to do, right? Like you got to go through LA, so it's time to get after it. And they've made some deals that maybe they're not going to be as good down the road, but they need to win now. I think the time is now for the Padres.
Yeah, well, no, hey, they're in a tough division, no question, but they got a good team. They can mash the ball, and I think the Dodgers are definitely more beatable because of all their injuries right now. I don't think there's any debate on that. So we'll see. But Will Wagner, I don't know if that's really moving the needle or not. That's just more of a depth one, I would say. Right? I don't. He's playing Double-A right now. I don't. Hopefully Kirk is not too serious off of that. But man, I'm always surprised actually the catchers aren't on Strange Street a little bit more with those foul tips right in the melon, right? Even though you're wearing the mask, it's still, that can be a pretty big jolt, no question. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Coming up, Travis Wingfield will join us. We also got Ian Furness after. The trade deadline will be at 4:00, but we always know a few trades can trickle in a little bit later, depending when they get them in and if there's a flurry at the last second. So we'll see about that. The Elks. Hey, Gregor, you mentioned Nick Anderson. Do you think Anderson's better as a middle linebacker or an outside linebacker? Oh, I think for sure he is a middle linebacker. I think he's better at the middle, and that's why when I look at the Elks, if I'm looking big picture for the green and gold, I think next year Nick Anderson will be your middle linebacker, and you'll have DeBlanco out at on one side, and the other guy that they quite like. And it's interesting when you watch Hamilton. Remember last year, Hamilton had a lot of young guys, and people were like, "Oh, geez, you know what? They're not very good." And some of the coaches didn't like because they make mistakes. Well, the other guy to watch, and he's easy to point out, number 43, he's got some long hair coming out of the back. Look for Brock Mogensen. But if I look at DeBlanco, Mogensen, and Anderson, that's who I think is going to be the three linebackers for the Elks next year. Now, I know that's why you're talking about next year, just because I think they're high on those guys in the development process, and then they'll probably let a veteran go in Niles Morgan, and you move Anderson. I think he's better suited to play middle. So that's how I see it. I'd have to ask, if the Elks feel the same way. But from what I've seen from him, I think he's better as a Mac than a Will. Quick break. We'll return. We'll update you on the trades because they keep coming in. And we'll continue on our preview for a little football. Now, Cons, you mentioned that your Chargers are playing. There's only 2 teams playing 4 preseason games this year. Is that right?
Yeah, Chargers and Lions just with the Hall of Fame game tonight.
Right, that's it. Because they've shortened their preseason down to 3.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So one game, it's going to be a lot of depth.
So does that mean next year, are we going to see, how quickly do you think we're going to have an 18-game regular season in the NFL?
But it's coming. I think it's inevitable. 2 preseason games and 18 regular season,
so
2 buys.
Now, I don't know. Could it happen next year? Could it be that early?
I don't think it'll be that quick, but yeah, sooner than later. The owners are going to push for it. They'll make it worth it. It's too much money they're leaving on the table. So yeah, I guarantee it'll happen. I'd say within the next 5 years, it'll be done.
Oh, you didn't think that long?
Yeah, I mean,
I think the fact that they're down to 3 already tells me it's coming. I won't be shocked if it's next year.
That'd be something.
Yeah, wouldn't be surprised. Money. Big reason why.
Yep.
Let's go to a quick break and we'll return and we'll talk some more NFL on the Gregor Show presented by Alberta.ca.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
Performance by Action Electrical today. Their projects team kicked things off, designing and building with unmatched skill.
Then the service team swoops in for those crucial repairs and maintenance. And don't forget the testing team, ensuring everything's safe and sound before the solar team scores with sustainable energy.
A complete team effort. Have Action Electrical bring home a win for you and your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
So you're dying from the heat, sweat dripping on your sheets. You want to cool it down, but your AC can't compete. So you fall upon your knees and cry out, oh please, I need a cooling breeze. Send me Legacy's AC Repairman. Legacy's AC Repairman. AC Repairman. Can't spell Legacy without AC. Legacy Heating and Cooling's got a guy who's really good at fixing broken ACs. So if you got one, call Legacy. Okay, see you later. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Edmonton Elks salute to service, presented by James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers. August 2nd, 1300 hours. EE battles the Ticats. Catch the Royal Canadian Airport pregame flyover, the salute to service flag football tournament, and more. Tickets start at just $20 at GoElks.com.
It's the Brick's Great Canadian Staycation Sale. This long weekend, score hot summer savings like up to 25% off outdoor furniture and free local delivery on outdoor furniture purchases of $4.99 or more. Mattresses start at just $149 and queen-size beds start at just $299. Save up to $1,000 off genuine leather sofas and sectionals. Plus, save the tax when you buy 2 or more major kitchen appliances. The Brick, saving you more.
Are you an elite athlete or weekend warrior and you just want to enjoy playing the sport you love with less or even no pain? Have you tried every exercise and stretch imaginable, hoping the next one might do the trick? Well, you tried analog. At Leading Edge Physiotherapy, we believe healing can move along better and sometimes even faster with evidence-based technology techniques and the people who know how and when to apply it. StimPod, zero-gravity treadmills, radial shockwave, and so much more at your fingertips when you click to find us at leadingedgephysio.com.
Scott McGilvery here, HGTV host and renovation expert. The one upgrade I know homeowners will love, better, fresher Culligan water straight from the tap. Culligan's Aquasential reverse osmosis filtration system takes your water to the next level. With up to 7 stages of filtration and 14 filter options, they're certified to reduce over 90 contaminants. Your tap water is about to get a major upgrade. Safer water that tastes great. Get started with a free in-home water test at Culligan.com. Culligan, water you love.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection? Incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Hi, it's Mandy from Jack's Drive-In. They say breakfast is the most important meal of the day. And at Jack's Drive-In, we make breakfast quick, delicious, and priced right all day long. Enjoy our popular Eggs Benny Express or try our very own cheddar cheese omelet sandwich. Start your day here. jacksdrivein.ca.
Diablo Boots sells only Canadian-made work and biker boots made by Canada West. No American or boots made in China, so no tariffs. All of Diablo's boots have replaceable soles and heels for longer life. Sizes 6 to 14 Triple E. Buy quality, buy Canadian. And support Canada West and Diablo, the 2 best names in the boot business. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Buy Canadian. They're terrific.
The Discover Days sales event has been extended at Volvo Cars Edmonton. Lease a 2025 XC90 plug-in hybrid from 1.49% and save $7,500. Final month extended. Lease or finance a 2025 XC60 from 0.49% and save $4,000. Save up to $7,500 on a 2025 demo XC40. Come and discover the deals now at Volvo Cars Edmonton. Great vehicles, better service. Only at VolvoCarsEdmonton.com.
Well, get ready for a silly hockey fan.
Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at ewell.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor, the best place for wine, cocktails, and beers from all over the world. Also, an excellent variety of non-alcoholic options. See more at sherbrooke.liquor.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Hey, welcome back. Just a gorgeous Thursday afternoon. Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, Orders Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. It's a busy Thursday, especially if you're a baseball fan. For you, like, I wonder what baseball fans and fantasy leagues are doing around the trade deadline. Because, man, it's baseball fantasy, I find, is the most committed fantasy player. It's too much. I tried. I was just like, there's so much going on all year. Season lasts forever, and there's lots of moves. So I have the utmost respect for those who play fantasy baseball. I find fantasy football I love, but it's way less time consuming. You know, you set your lineup and away you go. Now, I guess if you're playing daily, okay, you're playing Thursdays and Saturday, Sunday, sure, but it's not the same to me. No chance. Like MLB fantasy, you are committed. No doubt. In my mind, you're committed. Let's go in the room now, brought to you by Action Electrical, where you can take action on your savings as they got project service tag energy, 4 divisions. They're the most diversified electrical contractor in Alberta. That's actionelectrical.net as we continue on our NFL previews as we count down the days to kick off. We will stop today in Miami. Travis Wingfield from Dolphins.com joins us. Travis, how you doing?
Not too bad. I talked about a gorgeous day up there. This is like our winter for you guys, so it's just melting hot and it's miserable. So coming back from the pool right now to find a way to beat this heat.
Oh, how hot is it right now in Miami?
I mean, it wavers between like high 80s and low 90s for temperature, but it's just always muggy. It never really relents in the nighttime, so it's pretty brutal. Yeah,
the humidity is what we don't it's a dry heat out here, and so it is probably almost the same temperature today, but it's a dry heat. It's not remotely the same. Like I've been in New York once when it was muggy. I'm like, oh my god, I don't know how people live here. Like, so Miami, at least you got some beaches there. You can run into the ocean and back for a while. Let's start with the Dolphins, and a lot of people there's the Bills. And then there's maybe, a step down. The Dolphins, I think, were disappointed in their season last year, no question. I wanted because they got some big name players, man. Hill and Waddle. You throw in a chain. They might have the most dynamic as far as big play capability of any team in the NFL. Are they going to be able to A, stay healthy, and B, get them the ball so they can be more of the show off kind of what they have in their playmaking ability?
Yeah, that first point about staying healthy really is all it comes down to. And they're already seeing a healthy amount of attrition in the defensive backfield so far in training camp. It's kind of crazy how many guys they've already lost, whether it's Cater Coe, who was he was going to be an etched-in starter, and he's out for the entire season, down to guys that are trying to find their roles and their footing, and they're out for a couple of weeks or days. And it's just trying to piece things together right now. But to the point of the health, it all comes back to the quarterback. I mean, last year in games that Tua played, they averaged 27 points per game, which was 3 points down from the prior year. when he did it in 17 games. And I don't think there's any reason to expect this offense to go backwards, because in those games last year, about half of them, they couldn't run the football. Like, they could not move the ball on 1st and 10 unless it was Tua throwing the ball. And so without the running game, it impacted their ability to, get those big passes down the field like you talked about. And I think the emphasis this year on the offensive line, with their biggest free agent contract going to a guard and using 2 day 2 picks to trade up and get Jonas Savaitinaya to play the other guard position, I think the run game can return, and that should help open up the explosive passing offense down the field again.
So was it a lack of skill on the O-line, just simply that they couldn't run the ball?
Yeah, they went with Liam Eichenberg, who is still on the roster on the PUP right now, and Robert Jones, who signed to the Dallas Cowboys and just had a broken bone in his neck. He's going to be out for a couple of months, unfortunately. Wishing Rob the best. But those 2 guys, I always thought they weren't exactly fits in the Dolphins' outside zone scheme, but they brought them back and kind of emphasized the continuity. But both those players weren't great fits in what they do with the bread and butter. And then when they got in short yardage, they also just weren't very good at kind of powering guys off the football. And so they got 2 guys that are more athletic in James Daniels and Savaitinaya, and they're both bigger players that can play with power too. So I think there's a bigger emphasis on being stronger inside and trying to help that open up the rest of the offense on the outside.
Okay. Well, I guess we do have to, if we're going to start on defense, we do have to start at the secondary position. Like, it's ridiculous, the amount of guys that are out. I guess give our listeners a rundown of, like, how many guys are out for the year?
Right now, it's just Kader Kohu, the starting cornerback, but they did obviously trade Jalen Ramsey to the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they also lost Kendall Fuller. They released him, but right now it's those guys, and then Dante Trader is a 5th-round draft pick at safety. He is just out for a couple of weeks. They lost a kind of practice squad quarterback from last year back in OTAs, and then a couple more guys are just banged up for day-to-day, like week-to-week type of injuries. So it's not terrible in the long term right now. It's just trying to find guys to get them through training camp at this point.
Talking Miami Dolphins right now on the Jason Gregor Show with Travis Wingfield from MiamiDolphins.com and part of the Miami Dolphins podcast network. I want to ask you about the depth at quarterback, because in the past seasons we have seen Tua Tagovailoa undergo some injuries and miss some time. And I don't mean this as a slight to the previous quarterbacks, but I think with Zach Wilson, it might be a step up in that position. Team also drafting Quinn Ewers out of Texas. Did the team feel a little bit more confident in the depth at quarterback if something were to happen to Tua?
Yeah, I think so. That was kind of the thought behind going after Zach Wilson, who you kind of have to take the Denver Broncos at their word in terms of his, I guess, ascension last year, because you go back to the Jets tape and it wasn't good. And what wasn't good was the ability to play on time. And this offense is all about timing. And Tua really, masked some of the deficiencies last year with how quick he sees things and gets the ball out of his hands. And so for Wilson, the big challenge is being able to do that. And so far through training camp, he's still making some mistakes, but it's been better playing on time. And back in OTAs, it was kind of tough to watch back in the spring, which you expect, throwing to new guys and trying to learn a new system. But it's gotten better to the point to where I think if he had to play a game, I mean, it was a slog last year trying to watch the Skylar Thompson and Tyler Huntley offenses. I have to imagine, former 2nd pick in the draft, like, he has some talent. I have to imagine it's at least a little better.
Now, how about Darren Waller after coming off a year away from football? We know what he could do a few years ago with the Raiders organization. How has he looked getting back into the game?
We haven't seen him yet. He's still on the PUP, and they're kind of ramping him up with his conditioning and workout, which I think, is maybe giving Dolphins fans a little bit of pause, just because that's what happened with Odell Beckham Jr. last year. And we saw him just running sprints on the sideline the entire offseason. And while I do think that Waller is close to getting back and being ready to start practicing again, Tua has been pretty upfront about the fact that he's got to work with guys. We talk about the timing offense and his level of trust in guys. He'll throw the football right to a defender, and if you better break your route off at the right footwork and cross face it and make that catch and turn it into a big play as opposed to like interception or a pass breakup. So for Waller to get into the offense, he's got to get back to practice here soon. I think it'll happen, but it's kind of the big question right now, because they don't really have that big body to replace Jonnu Smith at the tight end position, and he's kind of the one to do it if they can get him out there.
So, Travis, if you don't have Jonnu Smith there anymore, Tyreek Hill we know is an option, as is Jalen Waddle. Who do you think might be an unsung hero for this offense once the season gets going?
Well, I mean, it's not a receiver, but Devon Achane just continues to look like he's going to have an expanded role in the passing game in addition to what he does on the ground. So I won't go that way because he's already at that star level. I think the free agent signing that everyone has to look out for is Nick Westbrook-Akine, a guy that they brought in from the Titans who had 32 catches last year and scored 9 touchdowns on those 32 catches. But more importantly, talk about what Jonnu didn't really do so much from his tight end role, and what they didn't really have outside of a couple of guys at receiver that are gone now is big blockers in the running game. And this is an offense that, Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, like they all prioritize blocking in the running game. And for Nick Westbrook-Akine, he kind of blocks like a tight end and has some downfield receiving ability as well. So he could be a guy that maybe racks up some red zone targets and scores some touchdowns for this offense that can move the ball pretty well.
Travis Wingfield joins us here on Sports 1440, Orders Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. And, listening to you talk about a lot of the things that Tua was able to mask and cover up. But a lot of people outside are like, he's the problem. I mean, I've never really understood that, right? Like, he seems to take a lot of the bullets for just a team that isn't very good.
I don't understand it either. I think I have this conversation with people that I'm close with, around the league a lot about this idea of, I think we fall in love now more with guys that have the big arms and that can run a little bit. And it's putting on the back burner, to me, the most important trait of quarterback play, and how you see the field and how you read what defenses are doing and putting the ball in the vacancies and letting your playmakers go make plays. And I always make this joke too. It's like, it's weird how Tua is in these stat categories, whether it's, the advanced metrics, the EPA, and the on location throw, and off, like all these different variations of stats, and then the counting stats as well. His name is always up there with Mahomes and Allen and Burrow and Lamar Jackson. And I'm not saying he's in that class. I don't believe that, but I do think he's in the class right behind that. And it's like, if he's not good at football, why does he always play good football? That's like my biggest question for the entire Dolphins organization. So I'm with you, and he's locked in right now. He looks better than he has. 7 days of practice, no interceptions so far. He's throwing touchdowns and putting the ball where it needs to be. I think he's just going to continue to grow and get better in the fourth year under Mike McDaniel.
Travis, just want to look at the front seven for that defense and some really good names there, but I want to ask you about two players specifically, the last two first-round picks in Chop Robinson and Kenneth Grant out of Michigan this year.
So Chop is the one that, if it doesn't go the way I think it will, it could get me in trouble with how I'm feeling about predicting his season this year, because he just looks like an absolute problem. The only guy that's been able to block him in practice so far has been Patrick Paul, who was last year's second-round pick. That's going to take over for Teron Armstead at left tackle, who's been really good so far in training camp. But Chop's first step and the way this defense can stress offenses, they were fourth in the NFL last year in total defense, and they lost their entire edge group. Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb were down. They were without Zach Sealer for a couple of games. Ramsey was up and down. Fuller was up and down. The safety play was atrocious. And they were fourth in the NFL in defense. And I think a lot of that was how Weaver can kind of concoct his pass rush plans. And with Chop Robinson having a full year under his belt and looking like an even better player this year, I think that his ability to find different rush lanes and create matchups for him is going to be a really productive year for him in a second season. I think you've mentioned Kenneth Grant as well. He's in line to play a bunch of snaps this year. He's going to start alongside Zach Sealer on the inside, and they love what he can offer in terms of the ability to move and at that size. They think they've got something akin to Dexter Lawrence. I won't call him that comparison because Dexter Lawrence is the best nose tackle in football, but the way he moves at his size, that's kind of the thinking of the upside. And if you have that with those linebackers that can run off those guys and those edge rushers, that's the idea behind this defense. The front seven's so good they can kind of mask some of the other spots in the back seven, or the back four, I should say.
So when you look at this season for the Dolphins, what's a realistic record? When you look at schedule, assuming health, because obviously that's the wild card for everybody, but assuming health.
Yeah, it's to me, it's like plain as day, because when they have Tua, they win football games, and when they don't win football games. And for me to veer off of that prediction on both ways, even though I do think that Zach Wilson's an upgrade, I kind of got to see it first before I can predict them to win games without Tua, because they just haven't done it unless they faced, the Dorian Thompson-Robinson Browns last year, or the Jacoby Brissett Patriots for the two games they won without Tua. And then with Tua, they've always had a winning record. He's a 38-24 quarterback. So I think if he plays every game, double digits, wild card berth, I got to see it before they can beat Buffalo, before I would call that. I think that's kind of crazy to expect them to go up there and beat Josh Allen, because they never do. And then if without Tua, same thing as last year. How many games he misses is going to be basically how many games you lose on top of the average Tua win-loss record, which probably keeps you on the outside of the playoffs. So, for a quarterback that misses a lot of games, it comes down to whether or not he plays. So it's pretty big window there either way.
Great rundown, man. We really appreciate it. Hopefully you find some relief from the heat.
There's always a pool somewhere. And like you mentioned, the ocean's pretty big too. So we appreciate that. Thanks.
Awesome. Thanks, Travis. Travis Wingfield joining us from Miami, where it is, it's just like here. It's nice and warm, nice and hot, 28 degrees. I haven't looked yet if it, are we inching up to 30 yet? We'll see. The only thing hotter than Edmonton right now might be Summer McIntosh in the pool for Canada at the World Swimming Championship. She's absolutely shredding the competition. When you're winning your races by 2 and 3 seconds in swimming, like it's a big deal. Like she is dominating the best in the world, and she's 18. And if you watched her swim this morning, it's this morning here, late last night, but she was going for it's the longest standing world record in swimming. It's an 18-year record been held for 18 years. And she came just like eyelash of beating it. And she said after the fact that she took one breath that she shouldn't have taken. Like they know everything, right? And she's like, I shouldn't have done it, whatever. And like, because the minute she got up, like she won the race she's able to touch the wall, come out of the water, look at the scoreboard before anybody else is even finishing. It's crazy. But she looks, and right away, like she was not happy. You could tell, because it wasn't like, obviously, I think she's confident she can win. She wants a world record. Like, imagine being good enough that you're disappointed that you don't get a world record. I don't care what sport you're in. When you're that good that you can say, I could have a world record, and especially in an individual sport, that is pretty damn impressive. So I like to follow her. Her career is one to watch as a swimmer. She's fantastic. We'll come back. Speaking of fantastic, there's never a shortage this time of year in what's going on. One guy who's fantastic, one of the more dominant seasons we've ever seen in open wheel racing. We'll get to that and more on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Rivalries run deep in Alberta football.
Edmonton all the way.
Calgary rules. But when it comes to the best snack for 3-down fun, there's no Battle of Alberta. It's a clear winner.
Wilhock Beef Jerky.
The one thing every Alberta fan agrees on. So whether you're watching the game from your recliner or in the stands, make it a part of your game day.
Wilhock Beef Jerky. Because you don't win games with salad. Only available in Leduc.
The sun is shining, the weather's warm, and some of Edmonton's favorite sports are back in season. If you're looking for the cherry on top of a perfect summer day, check out Play Alberta to experience casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Download the Play Alberta app today and deposit $20 or more with promo code SUMMER to claim a $100 casino bonus. That's promo code SUMMER for a $100 casino bonus on us. Redeemable once per Play Alberta account. Remember, if you gamble, please use your game sense.
Are you looking for safe and professional travel options? Look no further than Silent Rides, one of Alberta's premier bus charter companies. Whether your group is big or small, Silent Rides has you covered. We offer state-of-the-art motor coaches, first-class service, and affordable rates. Get your quote today. For more information, call 1-877-748-0991 or visit silentrides.ca.
Explore Internet just got 10 times faster. 5G Ultra brings incredible speeds to homes in rural and small town Canada. Upgrade today at xplore.ca.
Easy airport parking? Choose Park to Go. Edmonton's top-rated provider on Google. Book self-park or valet and save up to 30% with promo code RADIO. Visit park2go.ca. That's RADIO.
Oh, come on, baby, take a ride with me for great food and lasting memories. For good old-fashioned burgers and shakes, Jack's Drive-In's got what it takes. When it comes to family, friends, and fun, it's your place, and there's only one. Jack's Drive-In is the place to be for great food and lasting memories. Jack's Drive-In, Spruce Grove.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Culligan. For all your residential water needs, your local water treatment company, more than just big bottles, Culligan.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
$3:45. Welcome back, Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. It's a Gregor Show, as always, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. canesports.ca, the Daily Grand Thursday. It's the fun game. Get your tickets. Got better odds, man. You can win $7.3 million. It's $1,000 a day for 20 years. That's pretty good. Oh, be great. I'm just telling you, I'd love it. Wake up every day knowing I got $1,000 already. You say, what could I do to waste a little bit of that? Even if you spend half of it and you wait, by the end of the year, you've saved $162,000, even if you waste half of it every day. It's pretty good. Pretty good. As it's time now to speed things up in the Racing Report, brought to you by Cantork. The best way to beat the heat is to have a cool beer. Beat the terrace. Buy Canadian. Cantork's products not only made in Canada, but right here in Edmonton. Save money, support Canada at cantork.com. As once again, Colin Livingston joins us. And before we get to this, I saved you the Wyatt Rose. You're a big tequila guy. What do you think?
I wish I would have known about this yesterday when I dropped like $150 over at Sherbrooke, restocking my inventory for the racetrack. This is delicious. I love it.
Yeah, it is really good. So the Wyatt and Colin's very much a tequila guy. So
very much.
If it passes Livingston's tequila gauge, then that's when you know it's good.
Ole.
Ole. Now let's start with some big news in IndyCar on and off the track. Alex Palou, but he's just having a great season. I don't want to downplay anything like that, but like the season's over as far as who's going to win. We know who's going to win. It's just going to matter of how many races could he win. What's the record for most wins in a season in IndyCar? Is it 10?
Off the top of my head, I can't answer.
Okay. I got to look that up. I'm curious.
I'm not a good stats guy, and I have a terrible memory. But the run
it is 10. AJ Foyt.
Those are all yes, for sure, very impressive. But the eras are like trying to compare.
Yes.
Gretzky's goals to Howe's goals to Maurice Richard's goals, or it's not ever the same kind of thing.
Al Unser Sr. also 110. There you go. So I'm just looking, but you're right. It's hard, but I'm just saying that's the record, 10. So he could. Yeah. That's something for him to chase it.
3 races to go.
Yeah.
Only one more road course is where he's done his best, but he has won on ovals this year. These are his first ovals. But the run he's on is it's so crazy good. In addition to 8 wins, he's also got 2 seconds.
Yeah.
So, and I think he's only got 2 finishes outside of the top 10 in the whole season. So, he got taken out in an accident, and then they had one kind of mediocre race, but it's crazy good. Again, this is kind of, once in a generation. The level of competition in IndyCar is a lot tighter now.
Yes.
Than it's ever been. No disrespect to the guys of the past. I think they'll acknowledge that things are way more competitive now. But really, really cool to see. Really cool to I didn't really appreciate the Jordan era when he was rewriting the record book. But getting to see in my favorite sport, getting to see this has been pretty awesome.
Now, the other news that I find interesting is that today, not today, but earlier this week, Fox Sports acquired 1/3 of Penske Entertainment, which includes buying into IndyCar and the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It's their first year where they're the broadcaster of IndyCar.
Yeah.
So I got to think now that they've actually got money invested in the specific, not just a broadcast, but a kind of partner. I don't know if that's a conflict of interest. Obviously, it isn't because they're going to allow them to do it. But you got to think that they're going to be promoting it way more. Are we going to see IndyCar even bigger next year?
They're up 31% viewership already in their first year. The Indy 500 was up over 40% viewership, and this is just year 1. I think it says a couple of things. It says that Fox Sports appreciates that IndyCar is kind of a diamond in the rough, that there's a lot more room for improvement, especially once you compare what IndyCar is doing to, Formula One, not comparing those two as, technology or what the cars are, but the fact that F1 can draw such big crowds, even in the US, where candidly, the racing in Formula One is very mediocre compared to the racing in IndyCar.
Yes.
Again, this is kind of a strange year, but generally on any given weekend, anyone can win. Realistically, if you're a top 10 team, a top 15 team, and you put it together, you can beat the best of the best, which makes it really exciting.
Totally does.
The year started out kind of strange with Palou and Kyle Kirkwood really splitting the wins for like the first 9 races. Like just kind of a strange year that it works out that way. it also says that what they've seen in a really short amount of time has allowed them to, net a decent return. Again, they're only halfway through or just over halfway through their first season. So yeah, it's going to be pretty exciting. I talked to a couple of people who are not IndyCar people, and they're really NASCAR people, but they're talking about how strong the marketing has been during Fox's NASCAR broadcast, and it's kind of swayed them to move over. I'm sure NASCAR is not happy with this move because they want all the attention on them, but it's going to be very interesting to see how the sport changes, how their marketing changes. They talked about how they're really going to go digital heavy with their promotions, and which is really what this generation needs. I mean, they don't really need to be marketing to people like you and me. We need to start marketing to kids, and we need to get kids in go-karts that get into, Skip Barber cars and Formula Fords and Formula 1600s to, kind of replenish that. But we also need people watching at the earlier levels to get them kind of converted into open wheel racers. So hopefully this is going to have a trickle down effect across the entire sport.
Yeah. Well, I think it's huge news for fans of IndyCar and anybody who's an open wheel racing fan. F1 this past weekend, right now, we just talked about the competitiveness in IndyCar, and in F1, it's pretty much McLaren. They're dominating. Really, the only racing is Norris and Piastri race each other.
Yeah.
Right. It's almost what it is. There is some later down, and I know that you can try to sell excitement in the middle of the pack, and that's nice. But when you're trying to sell the excitement to see who finishes fifth or sixth over who finishes first or second, to me that's a little bit of an issue. And you look at Lewis had terrible weekend in qualifying, but in the race he looked quite good.
He was on fire. He was like the Lewis of old. Almost unthinkable that 7-time champ, 104 race winner, 200 plus podium, truly the greatest F1 has ever seen, could get bounced out of Q1 twice in a weekend. But it happened. Now, Ferrari's making changes, and what it sounds like happened is, they've got this new rear end, but they've also apparently tried a new brake pad for Lewis. He's raced a particular type of brakes his whole F1 career. Now he's using Brembo brakes, which is what Ferrari uses, and they're just different. In qualifying, he locked up his rear end. He said it's never, ever happened in his entire Formula One career. The thing I say in situations like this, it's really easy because Formula One broadcasts, like a lot of sports broadcasts, are built on drama. They're built on conflict, and they try and create animosity to get people either talking or a little bit more interested. So, the Sky Sports, they're really good at pointing the finger and, has Lewis Hamilton lost his ability to drive? His mind's not in it, blah, 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 blah. These people Lewis hasn't forgot how to drive.
Yeah.
He's still as good as he ever was. He just hasn't figured out how to use this new tool, or how to get the tool that they have, being this race car, to work for what his style is. And it sounds like they're starting to make the changes. It happens with every race driver. Like Max's style is completely unique to Max. There is nobody else in pretty much all of racing that drives the way that Max Verstappen does. And, between Lewis and Max, they're truly the greatest drivers in Formula One right now. But trying to get the car the way that they need it with what they have in the middle of the season is really tough. Obviously, we get a clean slate next year. But once they got to the race, despite the struggles, qualifying 16th twice in a row, 16th out of 20 cars, he was able to drive through the field because, we've said it so many years on the show that once the rain falls, it can become a bit of an equalizer. It's more about feel than it is about the performance of the car. They happen to get the setup right, which they have to lock in on Saturday during qualifying. They can't really change the setup, the downforce of the car. They have to kind of guess for what the race is going to be like.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was fun. I didn't really get to see a whole lot of the race. It was kind of on in the background, but hearing about, 2 and 3 car passes on a single lap, like it's great to see that that's still in there. And even though it was only a 7th place finish for Lewis, I know that kind of thing gets you re-fired up. And, it's easy to start self-doubting. It's enough when you hear it from the press, if you pay attention to that. But once you have a night like that where it's like, okay, I can still do this, it'll keep you going for a while.
Yeah, I would think so. But it is, the race itself wasn't much. But Piastri or Norris, it's a pretty close race. What is it, 16 points separating between the two of them? So who do you like to win that?
My choice is easily Piastri, not because of the lead, but he is way more, at least he presents himself way more emotionally level. He doesn't, if you hear him say anything even remotely elevated on the radio, something serious has gone on. He's been cut off. He's been in accidents. He's had, near misses, and he just comes on the radio like, yeah, no big deal. We're going to, shake this off. We're going to go. Last year at this race in Hungary was a lot of team order stuff where they gave preferential treatment to Lando on the pit stop, which they're not supposed to. The driver that's leading the race gets to call the race, is the accepted etiquette. They had to get Norris to give up the position because it was rightfully Piastri's, but it took something like 20 or 30 laps. Like, it was a long time. Norris's engineer was on the radio like, listen, do the right thing. I know you're going to give this spot back. And Norris wasn't saying anything, but Piastri wasn't flipping out on the radio either. Like, a lot of drivers, I'll count myself. I am not a Formula One driver, but I'm an emotional driver that when things, I'll yell on my helmet, like when something bad happens, because I would rather emit and get rid of it than kind of sit there and stew and simmer. Piastri doesn't ever really do that. He just kind of sits back and lets it happen. But he's also not going to make emotional decisions. He's not going to, overreact. He's not going to take a guy out. He's not going to make a low percentage move trying to pass somebody where there isn't room, just for that. That I think it's the only thing that's working against Piastri is I think the team has put Lando in a slightly better position. It seems like they give him the benefit of the doubt on calls. It seems like they have a bit more preference on his end. That might just be my perception, but it seems like when there's a decision to be made between the two drivers, more times than not, Lando seems to get the benefit. And
you were out at NASCAR. We talked to you from the track at Calabugie Motorsports. Cameron Lacroix, nothing really happened because Lacroix got the engine problems.
We were looking forward to it. It looked like there was going to be potential.
It was almost like a disappointment. Like, it's like everybody's. I know it's not a fight, but like a real good battle, and then nothing because of car problems.
Yeah, before we took the green flag we do 2 formation laps. And unfortunately, even before we got to the green flag, Lacroix's engine let go. He didn't get to start. So, but they're off to Autodrome Chaudière this weekend, just outside of Valley Junction in Quebec, about 45 minutes outside of Quebec City. There will be a couple of opportunities for those two to bumper to bumper and side to side. So,
like, I wish Cameron after the race would have pulled like a Donovan Bailey. I know it's not right because it didn't start. He just said he was chicken. He chickened out just to fuel it up. Like, that would have been unreal.
It would not have worked out to his benefit.
Doesn't matter. I don't care. It would have been awesome. Just because honestly, people be like, what? People be watching. Even non-fans would watch that. Just for people like a little bit of drama right now. And I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It's sports drama. It's not like real life. Like, to me, that's just kind of funny.
It'll happen this weekend. Cameron's leading the points. DJ Kennington kind of just running a DJ style year where he's not, he's won a race, but he's not really running up front a lot, but he's also not getting into trouble.
Yeah.
He's only sitting a few points back with quite a few races left to go in NASCAR Canada. If Cameron and Lacroix decide to tussle, it can really do wonders for DJ. Andrew Ranger is always good at Chaudière, loves the high line. And I believe, I can't say with 100% certainty, but if anyone's interested, the race should stream live on Rev TV through YouTube.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Well, great stuff, Cole, man. We appreciate it. Have yourself a good weekend. Enjoy the long weekend.
And to you, sir.
There you go. That's Colin Livingston in the Racing Report, brought to you by Cantork. As we get to Connor Halley and a Sports 1440 update, brought to you by the Red Deer Resort and Casino. Give your kids a summer to remember. Bears, beds, and belly laughs. Book the Stay Wild package at Red Deer Resort and Casino today. Check it out, Red Deer Resort and Casino.ca.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
Major League Baseball trade deadline come and gone. The Blue Jays acquiring former Cy Young winner Shane Bieber from the Cleveland Guardians for prospect Cal Steven. Bieber, who's working his way back from an April 2024 Tommy John surgery, has made 5 rehab starts, most recently coming on Tuesday for AA Akron. Jays also acquired catcher Brandon Valenzuela for Will Wagner. Elsewhere, you had the Texas Rangers bringing in Merrill Kelly from the Diamondbacks for Cole Drake, David Hegman, and Mitch Bratt. San Diego Padres acquire Rhino Hearn and Raymond Laureano from the Baltimore Orioles for Boston Bateman, Cobb Hightower, Victor Figueroa, Tyson Neighbors, and more. And then the Houston Astros getting Carlos Correa from the Minnesota Twins. On the diamond right now, heading into the 8th inning in New York, Yankees up on the Rays 7-4. Later today, you got the Reds and the Braves, as well as the Rangers in Seattle to take on the Mariners. Down at Remax, Riverhawks looking to make it 3 straight against the Night Owls. First pitch getting going just after 7 o'clock. And the CFL Week 9 kicks off with the Stamps taking on the Red Blacks in the NFL Hall of Fame game. Chargers and Lions from Canton, Ohio, kick off just after 6 o'clock. And in the WNBA, 1 game, Valkyries and Washington. That gets going at 5:30. And in the pool, you can make it 3 World Championship gold medals for Canadian swimmer Summer McIntosh, as the 18-year-old won the women's 200-meter butterfly, just shy of a world record. Coming up in hour 3 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll talk some Seattle sports with the Inverness of 93.3 KJR. We'll hear from Terry Ryan and ask 5 questions. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray Radio Station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Some jobs are easy, and some jobs are not. When the going gets tough and the job is tough, GS Construction hires good people to get the job done right. So, if you know it takes teamwork, grit, and the utmost care to work underground, you just might be who we're looking for. Right now, GS Construction is hiring experienced foremen to join our crew. Apply today at gsconstruction.ca. And remember, from the first manhole to the final tie-in, we've got your back. GS Construction. Tough jobs, good people. Edmonton Elks salute to service, presented by James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers. August 2nd, 1300 hours. EE battles the Ticats. Catch the Royal Canadian Airport pregame flyover, the salute to service flag football tournament, and more. Tickets start at just $20 at goelks.com.
You have a choice, and it's a hard one. GMC employee pricing or 0% financing at Wolf GMC Buick. A hard choice, but also super awesome. Get GMC employee pricing on our Sierra lineup, from the Sierra half-ton to the heavy duties. If you have cash, get discounts over $12,000 on many of our Sierras, along with GMC pricing. Or choose 0% financing on our Sierra half-ton lineup. And what a great selection of GMC Terrains and fabulous Buick SUVs to pick from. So many choices. But one thing's for sure, you are getting the best deal at Wolf GMC Buick.
Reports suggest that Canadian taste buds are bored to tears.
My mouth can't handle another dull drink.
Summertime smoothie experts everywhere are recommending a watermelon wake-up from Booster Juice.
It's so smooth, cool, and refreshing.
And ridiculously delicious. Enjoy the Watermelon Wave and Watermelon Explosion smoothies, available all summer long at a Booster Juice near you. Stay cool, Canada.
Booster Juice, Canadian born, blending since 1999. Photographers, start your cameras. It's time for Vision Credit Union's annual photo contest. Enter your hometown snapshot and show us what makes your community amazing. Whether it's a view from the farm, a stroll down Main Street, or a weekend at the rodeo, we're looking for snapshots that show off your rural Alberta hometown. Share your photo before September 2nd for a chance to win cash prizes or a donation to your favorite community group. Learn more via Vision's Facebook page or go to what'syourshare.ca.
Take your skating to the next level with
Aligned
09.
Custom Welcome back,
Skate
Jason.
Performance, Sherwood Park. Their expert alignment process ensures the perfect fit for that much-needed edge on the ice. Suddenly, your skates feel like an extension of yourself. Whether it's blade alignment, pressure points in your boot, or a fresh sharpening, Aligned Custom Skate Performance has you covered. Book an appointment, experience the difference, and discover why they're trusted by hockey pros and podium champions. Aligned Custom Skate Performance, where precision meets passion. AlignedSkate.com.
The sun is shining, the weather's warm, and some of Edmonton's favorite sports are back in season. If you're looking for the cherry on top of a perfect summer day, check out Play Alberta to experience casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Download the Play Alberta app today and deposit $20 or more with promo code SUMMER to claim a $100 casino bonus. That's promo code SUMMER for a $100 casino bonus on us. Redeemable once per Play Alberta account. Remember, if you gamble, please use your game sense.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Papa John's. Calling all cheddar lovers, try Papa John's new cheddar crust one-topping pizza for only $17.99. Order online at papajohns.ca or through the Papa John's app.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
We roll through, and man, there has been a flurry of deals at the end of the MLB trade deadline. We'll get to all that. It's the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca, as we see them trying to follow all the baseball insiders, Rosenthal and Jeff Hassan, all these other guys that are making all the deals. Now, Cons, did I miss one? I haven't seen another Jays one. Have you?
What was the last one you saw?
Well, they've only made 2 pitching. I know that they made the catcher trade, but
Brandon Valenzuela. No, that was the last one I saw for the Blue Jays, actually. Actually, they got Luis Varland from the Twins for Kendrys Rojas and Alan Rodin.
Oh, that just come down?
That was like right as the deadline passed. Yeah, it was the third last trade, it looks like, as of now.
Okay, so Louis Varland and Ty France from the Twins. So Rodin, the young outfielder, and Rojas going to Minnesota. So there you go. All right. Came right down to the wire, but they needed that, man. The Twins made a ton of deals today. We'll have to we'll be hitting the refresh button to get all of them here. We saw the LA Angels got Oswald Peraza from the Yankees. Wow. The Yankees, they moved on when they got Ryan McMahon from the Rockies. So then they said, all right, Peraza, you're out. The Diamondbacks traded Merrill Kelly. Finally, that was the other one of the starters everybody's talking about. He went to the Texas Rangers. So the Rangers makes a lot of moves today here. So we'll get to more of them when we recap all of it. But lots of the big names have been dealt. And as we know, just like in the NHL, that some of these deals can still trickle in here over the next few minutes. So we'll probably wait till we get Ian Furness on, because we know all of them, and we'll kind of go from there. So, hey, Gregor, I don't think Summer said Frost when she didn't get the record from Nails. Yeah, you saw that? Oh, no, she was not happy. And I love that raw emotion from an athlete, man. I think it's fantastic. So if you have a kid who's a swimmer right now, you should be watching Summer McIntosh, because she is unbelievable. Like, there's winning against everybody in the world, and then there's dominating everybody in the world. And that just does not happen very often. So that's awesome. Awesome stuff. It's Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca, which, of course, it's an awesome place if you want to have a little fun with instants, lottery, sports, casino, live dealer, and the Daily Grand every Thursday. Your chance, $1,000 a day for 20 years, $7.3 million. Get your tickets at PlayAlberta.ca. As we welcome to the show Terry Ryan. He's going to join us next segment. What is he? What do you mean next segment? We got Furness on next segment.
He'll be by with Ian and 5 questions.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we should tell the story about TR. So TR, Connor texts him, okay, coming on. What are you doing? What's your timeline? Whatever. And Connor's talking to him, and then all of a sudden it goes dark, doesn't hear from him. And he somehow is texting some other Connor in his phone. Like, what kind of disaster is TR on today? That's what I want to know. Like, how do you go from texting one person when you're in an actual, like, it should just be like the top or 2 or 3 conversations. Like, maybe he just by fluke had another Connor conversation going on at the same time, but that's and even if you did send it to the wrong guy, well, I guess if he doesn't respond to you right away, you're kind of like, what's happening? But that is, that's a funny little, that's just adds to the myth of Terry Ryan. How do you just mixing up the Connors to, so that's why he ended up missing the first part of the show today.
The guy's response to him was, wrong one, T-Bone, LOL.
Whoa, T-Bone. Oh my God. Is he the Costanza of our show now? I think we might have to call him T-Bone. Oh my God. That is unbelievable. Oh, T-Bone. Oh yeah. George didn't like that. Oh, that was awesome. T-Bone.
T-Bone's response was, LOL. Frost? Is that what we used for what Summer McIntosh said?
Oh yeah. Frost.
T-Bone wasn't too happy about that one.
No, probably T-Bone. Everybody go on Twitter right now and just add him and go T-Bone. Unbelievable. Oh, it's going to be the new gag. I love it. Absolutely love it. So. Hey, Greg, so I remember the Olympics when Summer got bronze, her first event, was amazingly disappointed. It was awesome from Tiger. Well, you know what? I know some people, if you're not overly competitive, you look at, and some people you can say that, you know what, they're overly competitive at the wrong moments. Like if she is swearing when she loses a game of Clue at home, okay, you might be a little bit over competitive. But when you're an athlete in your arena and you're disappointed when you lose, I have no problem with it. I don't expect that the minute you lose to be like, and she didn't even lose, by the way, she won. She just lost out on a world record, which that was her goal. That's what she was shooting for. Now, she wasn't disrespectful to anybody. She just showed her, some disappointment. I'm okay. We should be able to show some disappointment at times. She's not offending anyone else. You shouldn't be offended by her being disappointed, because very few of us who walk this planet have the ability to push for a world record. That's just a fact, right? There is very few people who can do it. So now, Cons, before we go, I did not, there are some guys. Here's who the Twins have traded: Castro, Duran, Paddock, Correa, Colomb, Bader, Stewart, Jax, Varland. 9 guys since Monday traded out of Minnesota. Unbelievable. And what about the Pirates? Tommy Pham, not traded. Adam Heaney, they didn't move on Mitch Keller either. So now Pham and Connor Halley, although I'm not sure how much. Like, he's an infielder. Like, let's be honest. Remember when he was with the Jays? Like, I'm not sure that guy has much value of anything. Right? Let's be real here. So I don't know if I would be complaining about him. But so there you go. And the Jays, as we said, I thought they get 2 relievers and a starter, Cons, and they ended up getting 3 for Varland, France, Sir Anthony Dominguez, and then Shane Bieber. Now, Bieber is a little bit of a wild card on a starter because he hasn't pitched this year in the majors. He's coming off Tommy John surgery. He's rehabbing right now in Double-A. Just pitched 4 innings 2 days ago and pitched very well in those 4 innings, but still. So we'll see. The Rays did get right-hander Adrian Hauser from the White Sox, so it's another big deal for them. Man, there's a lot of trades. This has to be one of the busiest MLB trade deadlines ever. And it makes sense because there's so many teams with a legit shot. Tigers, Blue Jays, Astros, Yankees, Red Sox, Mariners, Rangers. I think there's 7 teams. None of them are a clear, favorite. The Brewers, the Dodgers, the Mets, the Cubs, the Phillies, the Padres, the Reds. You got 14 legit teams. And there were some other teams that, like the Rays made some moves. They still think they're in it. The Angels made some moves. Like the Twins, it's funny. Like the Twins were 5.5. They weren't going to make it. But they're 51 and 57. Not terrible by any stretch, but they sold off 9 guys today. They got some good young players, but 9, that's got to be close to a record. In a span of 4 days, you trade 9 players off your roster. Might have to get Sarah Lang on that. I'm going to have to ask her that. So that's seems like it's one of the busiest MLB trade deadlines for sure.
Yeah, and you look at in the races for top spot in the divisions. Padres Dodgers is the biggest gap in the NL at 3 games. The Cubs Brewers are fighting.
Yep.
Phillies Mets half a game. And then in the AL, I mean, it's 9 games, but it's not insurmountable. We've seen it happen before. Mariners, Astros at 5 games in the hunt, and the Yankees, of course, are going to have the feet of the Jays. They're gonna have the heat on the feet, like ready to go here. But Red Sox 5 games back as well. So yeah, it's gonna be a fun one here. Lots of movements. And Gregor, like, are all these teams gonna gel? Probably not. Like they would that can be something to watch for as well. Did any of these teams mess up their mojo?
Yeah, we'll see. Let's get to the Elks report, brought to you by Volvo Cars Edmonton. Final day of the Discovery Day sales event that goes on, leasing 2025 XC90 plug-in hybrids. You for 1.49, you can save 7,500. XC60s at 0.49% and save $4,000. VolvoCarsEdmonton.com. And myself, Declan Cougar, are down watching Elks Day. We caught up with the head coach of the Elks, Mark Kill.
Last week against Saskatchewan, more aggressive, specifically in the secondary. You guys were up on the ball more. I noticed you got your safety Garnes back in safety today. Are you looking to do that in the game? And what do you like about him at the safety position?
Yeah, I mean, we're just going to have to wait and see on that one. But, Garnes is a guy that we were high on all through camp. I mean, he was a little bit out of control early in the year and, trying to get his angles down and that kind of stuff. But he's literally been a guy that has taken coaching and gotten better every week. And it's showing up in the game, and I'm happy for him.
And what did you see from DeBlanco last week that you liked and kind of what you expect now? He obviously gets all the starters rep with the injury, and what you're looking for from him this week.
Yeah, I mean, we've liked Joel obviously for the whole time. I mean, Joel shows up, the guy brings energy into the building. He's got a smile on his face, but he's an ultra competitor. He's aggressive. You get everything of Joel when he plays, whether that's in practice or in the game. Last week, he got forced into action. He was still playing on 4 special teams. He was flying around, and I mean, it took a lot, but that's what Joel gives, and happy for him to get another opportunity out there.
That's just a random question, but the rule changed a few years ago where you could line up 2 quarterbacks. No one's really ever done it. Why not?
I don't know. That's probably a better question for the offensive guys. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'll leave it at that.
Because, being a defensive guy, just what the potential for it, the unpredictability, would it not make it harder on defenses?
I mean, it would, but then, what are you doing? You putting one of your quarterbacks out wide. Are you really going to throw it to that guy? You know what I mean? So, I mean, I don't know. I think there's a lot of things, coaches like to go back to things they feel a lot more confident in, and that's probably what it really comes down to. I mean,
like that works well for
to start doing that, and then people start.
Looking at your O-line play, they were obviously disappointed in what happened in Saskatchewan. Just too many pressures. How do you challenge the group? How does the group challenge themselves to get back on track?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of prideful people on our O-line. There's a lot of good football players on our O-line, and there's a lot of veterans on our O-line. And I think to a man, they know they need to be better, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they play this game.
Coach, the defense has seen a lot of rotations, seen a lot of injuries, seen a lot of things like that. How have you seen the communication from that side of the ball? I mean, guys coming in, obviously, we talked about Jalen and Kenny swapping positions, but communication is so important on that side of the ball. I mean, how's it been for that group?
It's been pretty good. I mean, we do some even in our not just our tempo periods, but we do some really highly focused walkthroughs where we are getting full look team with motions, and we force those guys to communicate like they're doing it. It's just at a lower physical rate, but I feel like those guys spend the time together. That's the biggest thing. They spend the time together both on the field and in the meeting room communicating. So hopefully that carries forward into the game.
Cody last week, I mean, he's competing for the starting job. Now it's he's the starting quarterback. How has his comfortability in the offense been? Chemistry with receivers, things like that.
Is he out there right now throwing balls? No, that's cool. But I mean, I think it's been good. Cody's a vet. He brings that veteran presence. He wanted to get more reps so that he could take more ownership into it. Obviously, that's happened this week. I feel like, he gives instant feedback on, hey, I was looking at this too long, maybe come out of that a little bit sooner. That's the type of stuff that carries forward into the game, and I'm excited to see it.
Robbie officially on the 6-game IL, but been out there, been active, been participating. Any status update on him, how he's been looking?
I mean, he got out here a little bit. He's trending the right way. We'll have to see when we formulate the roster.
And I think there's a pretty good chance that Robbie Smith will be on the roster for the green and gold. coming up on Saturday afternoon, man. It's going to be an unbelievable day. Like if you want to just sit outside and relax, you're going to have, it's 1:00. So almost every side of the stadium is going to be in good spots. If you want to go to the game, I have a 4-pack. So a family pack of seats for you to go to the game. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. Just text in Elks if you want to go. And we'll just pick a random winner. 4 tickets, 100% you can go, though. Don't text in and then be like, oh, I can't go. No. Make sure you know you can go. Saturday, 1:00, Elks taking on the Hamilton Tiger Cats. 833-401-1440. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back and we'll recap MLB. Get to 5 questions more on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Actions speak louder than words. Japa Machinery Group puts your construction plan into action with XCMG construction machinery you need. Available for rental or sale. Learn more at japamachinery.com.
They are late, tasting just so right. You can order Oodle Noodle at oodlenoodle.ca, delivering you the news almost right away. Remember, you can order Oodle Noodle at oodlenoodle.ca. So stay on your couch all day and order oodlenoodle.ca. Oodle Noodle.
You got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939. We're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Come experience Edmonton Stingers Pro Basketball. Friday, August 1st. It's the most affordable, family-friendly, fun sports experience in the city. Tickets start at just $20. thestingers.ca.
The 8th annual Oilers Nation Open tees off Friday, August 29th at 9 a.m. A Texas scramble with fellow golfers, sports fans, and maybe even a few local personalities. Great shots, cold drinks, and a great cause. Gregor's Grads. Sign up at nationgear.ca.
I'm Rick Showers from No Bull RV. Our average used RV sells for around 30 grand. Some are more, some are less. And literally no one has 30 G's just sitting in their checking account.
Monthly payments are the best way to get the used RV that's right for your family.
That's right, Bob. Financing should be a stress-free process. But let me tell you a little secret. My granddaughters think I'm a model citizen when I was young once. And if you look back into my credit history, you can see that it wasn't always excellent.
Perfect credit is nice, but not easily achievable.
You said it, Bob. But less than perfect credit is not a good reason to keep you from the great outdoors this season. I built our financing plans for the real world. And in the real world, nobody has a perfect credit score. So let's talk about how easy it is to make your favorite used RV affordable. As long as you promise not to tell Saxon and Goldie that I'm not perfect.
NoBullRV.ca. Bringing every project to life requires the right team. By joining the Japa Machinery Group service or sales teams, you can be part of setting a new industry standard. Celebrating a legacy of excellence with Japa. Learn more at japamachinery.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by On the Rocks. Jump on OTR's party shuttle buses to Elks games, Riverhawks games, and concerts at Commonwealth. To see all upcoming bus events, visit ontherocks.yeg.com.
Hat tricks, touchdowns, and home runs. Get it all with the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.424, welcome back. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Hope you're having a lovely day. As always, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. We welcome in. I shouldn't laugh, but it's like phone one, Terry Ryan, nothing. TR, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing all right, man. I'm leaving to go to Toronto tomorrow for 10 days and just putting it all together. I got 26 hours of work to do in the next 2 hours.
Oh, nice. So how did you screw up your phone here? What happened?
I honestly, it just crashed. Like it just filled in the screen. It was almost like some kind of computer virus. It just started filling in black, like ink blots almost. And then until I couldn't see it. And when I brought it in, I could speak into it and hear like, hey, Google or whatever, but I couldn't turn it on. So then when I went to get the new phone, I couldn't transfer any data because we couldn't see the screen and it wasn't picking up anything on the screen. So I got this new phone and I don't have any very, very little contacts. Every time it asked me, I'd like save the phone. I guess I should have saved it to like Google or whatever. I got a Samsung. I mean, I don't know, but it's a lot of headache, man. And then the new phone I got is 128 gigs and the old. So I there's a way to do it. It involves a lot of trickery, but I have the phone I had has 256 gigs and this one got 128. So I've been like for a week trying to erase. I bought a new screen. So I essentially bought a new screen for the phone and bought the phone back. And now I'm just trying to get it down. It's honestly, I could go on and on, but it's been a week of chaos because I've been needed. I've been reached out to. I missed emails. I mean, like big time stuff that I missed. Connor McDavid's golf tournament type stuff.
Wow. Jeez.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm just in a tizzy, to say the least. Tomorrow a big game with Dougie Gilmore and a few more. We're raising some money for Sick Kids, it's called, on Friday. And then Saturday, me and Dolo Goody and Shorzy from the show Shorzy are opening up the Hayloft Festival featuring Mackenzie Porter and Brett Kissel, and that'll be in Listowel on Saturday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so there's a lot happening.
The touring man. So we'll allow you to catch up to the big day, of course, in Major League Baseball right now as we get to the MLB report brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling, home with no payments, no interest for 1 year on your AC unit. Stay cool all summer long at legacyheating.ca. And man, like early on, it was like, oh, Seattle's made all the moves. But then you look at the Yankees made 7 trades. The Twins traded away 9 players. And for a guy who hosted in a market where they definitely got the biggest bat of anybody in Suarez, got that one late last night to add him to Cal Rallies. And they have 2 of the top 5 home run hitters in the major leagues of baseball. The Mariners should be very, very entertaining. Ian Furness joins us from Seattle, where I'm guessing, Ian, everybody is fired up there because, man, at the bare minimum, they're going to see a lot of home runs.
They will. I'm just entertained by listening about Newfie's phone situation. If you would have told me if you would have told me that guy would be talking about gigabytes and all that kind of stuff, 30 years ago or whenever I met this guy, I would have never believed it. But yeah, I'm still getting killed by that. Newfie, you got to be kidding me, man. Fix your phone. You're a big deal now. Yeah, crazy times down here, man. It's weird. This is not a market that we're used to. The Mariners are not used to be the team that make the big moves and spend a little bit of money. You know, everything they sent out was minor league, so they retain more money. And you know, it's not a salary cap league, but they got better. They got a lot better. I think I'd make the argument they got the 2 best bats in the trade market, and not just Suarez, but certainly the Canadian as well, and Josh Naylor.
Oh yeah, you get a Canadian on your team, you know that's never a bad thing at all. And I was looking, and you know what? Like, I know they're ranked top, but they were saying, hey, Seattle did pretty well because they didn't have to give up any of their, you know, by the rankings, any of their top prospects in these deals.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing, Jason, is that what's odd about it is, you know, Naylor and Suarez are both on expiring contracts. So that kind of comes into play a little bit because, you know, in baseball, teams they want club control. They want guys that are around. They ideally like guys that are under contract for not a lot of money for a few years. And those are the ones that usually cost you prospects. But in today's trade market, because there's this really massive middle class in Major League Baseball, there's a lot of guys, you know, a lot of teams that are kind of in it. You know, I mean, if you look through there, I mean, you can go down basically 2/3 of the American League is in the playoff chase within 5 games of a wild card or division lead, what have you. So you would have thought that Suarez and Naylor and maybe even Correa, they would have kind of demanded a little bit more in return. So the fact the Mariners didn't have to give up any, and the Mariners have a really good farm system. I mean, they have some just really good young players, highly thought of, top 100 guys in baseball type of thing. And the highest ranked prospect they gave up was Tyler Locklear. He was 15th in their system. He's like number 200 overall in baseball. So it's a little surprising. It's interesting that the Diamondbacks didn't hold out until today to trade Gino, because I thought they would have done that, waited till the last minute to see what the market would bear, but they did it yesterday, and maybe that tells you that teams weren't really, willing to spend a lot in terms of prospects. I think that the top prospect that went was San Diego, traded their top guy for Mason Miller, the closer from Oakland, Sacramento, wherever the hell they're at these days, the Athletics. So, yeah, it was odd in that regard, but boy, there was a lot of movement, man. There's a lot of teams in the American League specifically that got better.
Oh God, yeah. Again, I was talking off air with Connor. Like, this got to be the most moves I've ever seen at one Major League Baseball trade deadline. Like, it's way more than I can recall in any time. And I think it's because there's no dominant team. There's literally 14 teams that you could look and say, you get into the playoffs, any one of them could win.
Yeah, I think in the AL, Seattle, Detroit, the Yankees, Texas got better, and you can make an argument if Texas is healthy that they have maybe the best roster in the West, but I think I'd say Seattle's right there with them. Houston, until they're not Houston anymore, is scary. I love, like, Seattle and Houston both went back to the Wayback Machine. I don't say way back, it's only a 3 years, but they bring Correa back, and Seattle brings back Gino. But I think that you can kind of look through there and start doing the math and figuring that in the American League, your wild card teams are probably going to come from the AL West and the AL East, and then the division winners after that. So, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. This has not happened here ever. Seattle, maybe like 2001, they won 116 games, and we all know what happened in 2001 with 9/11, the shutdown, and kind of the world got turned upside down, and things were goofy after that. The Mariners had the best roster. They couldn't get to the World Series. They couldn't get over the hump. I don't think there's any excuse for this team not to get to at least the ALCS here. I mean, when you can put the kind of power you have in the lineup with Cal Raleigh and Gino Suarez, Naylor has been really good since he got here. If nothing else, he plays the position well at first. And the thing that people aren't talking about, Jason, is that the Mariners rotation 1 through 4 at least, maybe 1 through 5, but Miller's been banged up. But 1 through 4, that rotation was supposed to be the best starting rotation in baseball. They've had some guys banged up, and they really haven't pitched great this year, not at least to the level they're supposed to be. So if that pitching rotation gets back to where it was, this is arguably the most talented team in the American League.
What do you make of the Jays? You look at the Shane Bieber. It's obviously the biggest wild card, I think, of anybody. The guy's coming off Tommy John. He just was pitching 2 days ago in Double-A, but he's a former Cy Young winner. And what do you make of that acquisition by Toronto?
I love it. We were just talking about it on our show a little while ago. Our baseball analyst was on with me. He loves it because, we're not going back that far in the Wayback Machine, but Bieber could be a massive wild card for that team. And they're humming right now. So, like I said, I think you look at the AL East and the AL West, and they're really similar. You've got in the AL West, you got 3 teams that can win the division, right? Like, you got 3 teams. And Houston's got a 5-game lead, but Seattle and Texas, they're going to beat up on each other. They play a 4-game series starting night. You look at the East, Toronto, Yankees, Boston, right? Tampa Bay starting to fall off. It's 3-3. Those are and Detroit, I think, is starting to show who they are. So, someone in the division, they're going to win that division. That's fine. But really, it's you can kind of look at those 2 divisions, and I think Toronto's in a very similar situation that say Houston is. They've got that advantage right now, but they got 2 teams clipping at them. So it's going to be fun. I don't remember. Honestly, Jason, I don't remember it being like this in a while. Not only an active trade deadline like we had, but also as wide open as it happens to be overall. Now, listen, everyone looks at the Dodgers, and they're kind of different level, right? They're like a different level team. But outside, like in the American League, no, I tell you, it is wide open right now. And I know betting favorite wise, I think we just looked at it. You guys actually are able to do it up there a little easier than we are. But Fangraph I think they had Detroit, Yankees, Seattle 1, 2, 3, and the favorites to win to not just get there, but to win the World Series. I think when it all shakes out in the next 24 hours, it'll be those 6 teams I just talked about, the AL East and the AL West.
TR?
Well, Ian, I hate to switch the subject, but how have the Seahawks improved this offseason?
I just left training camp. We had kind of a weird day. Like, in sports radio, and you guys know this, sometimes you have those days where it's like, what the hell's going on? Is there anything happening? And today here in Seattle, we've got all this stuff going on with trade deadline. And oh, by the way, on top of that, we're in the middle of Seahawks training camp. We've been there every day for the last couple weeks. They're better. They're a strange team, and I don't want to be a homer guy. I do that enough when I talk Kraken with Jason during the hockey season, but mostly because they pay me. But the Seahawks, who don't pay me, they're better than a lot of people think. They are flying into the radar. Obviously, Sam Darnold's the wild card, the quarterback. Is he going to be at the level or better than Geno? I think he will be because they have a legitimate offensive coordinator, Clint Kubiak. Offensive line will be better. They invested a first-round pick in Gray's Abel there. The 2 tackles will be healthy. Charles Cross, our left tackle, just had surgery on his finger, but he'll be back by the end of August. That's fine. They just got it done and cleaned up now. Their defense is elite. Mike McDonald was a defensive genius in Baltimore, and we saw that the second half of last season when he got his middle linebacker, Ernest Jones, and that defense started figuring out what he wanted to do. It's all based on communication. They're like an offense. They do check downs. They check at the line of scrimmage. They do a lot of disguising things. And I talked to Drew Lock today, the backup quarterback for the Seahawks interview we're going to run tomorrow. And he was with Seattle 3 years ago, I guess it was. Yeah, 2 years ago when they played in Baltimore against the McDonald defense. I was there covering it for the TV station. And it was the most dominating defensive performance and the biggest whipping I ever saw Pete Carroll team take. It was crazy how good they were. Lock was like, yeah, man, it's kind of fun to be on the other side of that now because that defense will be a top 10, probably even a top 7 or 5 defense in the NFL. If the offense can get the offensive line stabilized, and like I said, they have a legitimate NFL play caller, not a guy from college like last year, but Clint Kubiak's good. I think they're good. I think they're like we just talked about divisions though. I think the NFC West. Everyone loves, and I don't know what it's like up in Canada. Like down here, I know you guys are Toronto centric, right, Jason? Like if anything happens in Toronto, it's that's what it is down here with like certain divisions in football, and it's like, oh, the NFC East because they've got Dallas in it. Dallas sucks; they're awful, and Philadelphia's really good. We know that Washington's good, but I think in the NFC West, San Francisco, LA, and Seattle are 3 really good football teams. So it's going to be a battle in that division this year, guys.
Oh, yeah, no, it should be really good. And Sam Darnold had an unreal year last year. And, you look top 5 in touchdowns, top 5 in yards. Now he also had pretty good receivers. The play calling does matter, right? And just how he had success in that Minnesota offense and how they deployed it, because every quarterback, there's certain skills they do well. When you talk to the guys in the offense, are they building the offense to play to his strengths? Or are they going to ask him to play to what they think are the strengths of the offense?
No, they've signed him because he's familiar with this system. He played under that system when he was a backup in San Francisco a couple of years ago. He was backup to Purdy. And it's the Clint Kubiak, system is the Kyle Shanahan system, so to speak. In fact, there's Kubiak's brother is the play caller in San Francisco on Shanahan. So he's really familiar with the system. It's a timing-based system. They want to run the football. They're going to use a fullback, which they use at San Francisco with Juszczyk. They drafted a kid, Robbie Oots, out of Alabama to play fullback. It's kind of weird. I'm like going back in time. I'm going back to my youth. I'm watching these practices, and there they are out of the I formation with a fullback, the way God intended to play football. Bang somebody in the face, smash somebody in the head. That's what they're doing right now. And it's fun to see it. They've got to, here's the thing. You could say this with any team in the NFL. And so I kind of hesitate to say it, but I think it's true for any team in the NFL and this team specifically. It just depends on health. If the offensive line, which is starting to get solidified here in training camp, which will be better, if they stay healthy, especially the 2 tackles, they've missed their right tackle, Abe Lucas, the last couple of years. If they're healthy on the offensive line, if Ken Walker, the top running back, is healthy for the first time since his rookie year, and doesn't get banged up like he did the last 2 years, if they're there, and Cooper Kupp is special, watching him in practice is fun. It's just, this guy's just different level in terms of route running. If all those guys are fine and stay healthy, that offense will be fine. They'll be pretty good. I don't know if it'll be a top 10 offense, but they'll be a top 15. They'll be in the upper half of the league. And like I said, you could say that with any team. I'll use San Francisco, for example. Guess what happens when Christian McCaffrey's hurt most of the season and George Kittle's hurt a bunch of the year and Brandon Ayuk was hurt? That's what happened last year in San Francisco. They weren't a playoff team.
Yeah.
If Matt Stafford gets hurt in LA with the Rams, they're not a playoff team. It's really that simple. What would happen if Jalen Hurts went down in Philadelphia? You go through the list of guys, all those guys I just mentioned for Seattle, though, like Darnold, the difference with Darnold, here's the funny thing with Darnold. Darnold comes to Seattle, the starter, with some question marks. He's had one really good season in the NFL. That was last year.
Yeah.
But he was a high draft pick for a reason. Like everyone, every sport has this. I remember talking to Ron Francis about this with draft picks the other day, hockey-wise. And, like Newfie knows this. It's the same. Terry was a first-round pick for a reason in the NHL. Guys that are first-round picks, they're first-round picks for a reason. Now, sometimes you get injuries, right? And that's usually what ends up happening. And guys, maybe the NHL is a little different. You're drafting young kids. Terry had, concussions and stuff, but guys don't pan out. But there's a reason someone's drafted high in a draft in the first round. Sam Darnold was a top pick in the NFL for a reason. He's got a skill set. It never worked out until last year. He's got one more year of good tape and a good starting season under his belt than Geno Smith ever did. And Geno had pretty good success here. So I think they feel pretty confident Darnold's going to be the guy. And oh, by the way, they're probably a couple years away from Jalen Milroe being the quarterback here, who they drafted in the third round from Alabama. But he doesn't have to play right away. He can sit on the bench for a year or two.
Ian, great rundown as always, man. Quickly, just because I know you're covering the Kraken too, what do you make of the Kraken's off season and, where they're going moving forward?
I thought it was okay. And I say that not to be derogatory, guys, but I think, first of all, what was available in the free agent market was not what they needed. They got the defenseman in Lindgren, but the free agent market, as we all know, was filled with center icemen and D-men, right? Well, we've had that debate, Jace, about the defense, but I think their defense, of course, fine. Their goaltender, Joey's fine. And they needed scoring wingers. That didn't exist. Marner was more of a playmaker. He wasn't going to come here. That's obvious. So they did what they could. Marshman helps for sure. Lindgren will help on the back end. He'll be a top 4 guy. And DeCord's going to be fine in goal. We'll take him. And if Grubauer's awful again, they've got Murray as an insurance policy. I think the biggest thing is they're expecting Wright and Beniers and Capo Caco and guys like that to take that next step. And oh, by the way, I think just talking to guys in the organization, it was really disappointing what they got behind the bench last year. We just talked about how different things matter. Coaching, play calling matters, right, in the NFL. Dan Biles is one of the nicest guys in the game, but all of us know this. The game has evolved, right? The game has evolved, and Bilesma was a good guy in Coachella to develop young guys. He wasn't an NHL coach anymore with what NHL coaches do in terms of stats, analytics, video study, things like that. The structure was so bad last year at times. There's one player that famously walked out of the arena one night after a road game and said, I don't know what the blank we're even doing out there anymore. So you had a lot of that. They're going to be better just because of what's behind the bench. Young guys taking that next step forward, and they'll be competitive. I think they'll be in the playoff mix after the Olympic break, and we'll see what happens from there. But they'll be a better hockey team than they were last year, and hopefully, they don't have guys like Dunn and Eberle out for a combined 70 games.
Stick this Kevin Woodley, who's hit on the last 3 summers on the goalies he thought would have a breakout or bounce back year. He actually has Grubauer as the guy to watch for this year in Seattle as a bounce back. So something to watch for. See if because he feels if you overplay Joey Decord, it doesn't work, and we've seen that.
Well, we saw Joey kind of fall off at the end of the year, but I'll give you the stat that just jumped out at me, and I know it's like wins, like pitcher wins in baseball or quarterback wins. Philip Grubauer last year had the potential to have 56 points in his starts, and they got 12 points out of his 56 possible. That's hard to be that bad. Just do the math. If he's just okay, they're in the playoff race at the end of the year.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. So I like hearing that from Kevin. I love Kevin Woodley, man. He's awesome. So I love hearing that. That's great.
Yeah. Great stuff, my man. Always good to talk to you, and have a great day.
See you, boys.
See you, buddy. Good to talk to you again, Ian.
There you go. That's Ian Furness joining us from Matt. So they called you Newfie, but what about T-Bone? You know what? How many nicknames you got, TR? Are you like the George Costanza of our show now? We're going to call you T-Bone?
Yeah, it's phases of my life, right? Like nobody back here is going to call me Noof.
Yeah, well, obviously not. No. Yeah.
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 So, and then from 14 till I don't know when, I do know, but decade, and then ongoing. I'm out, I'm in, I'm out. So when I go out, especially Western Canada, it's Noof. And in the Western League, I'm the only Newfoundlander to play in it. So it was a very fitting name. As you go east, it becomes not very fitting. It's not, you go to Fort McMurray, calling me Noof is just like there's 75% of people there are in the same boat, and as you keep going east, Toronto, it doesn't really jive either. So T-Bone and TR, that was just the easy layups in hockey. And I suppose they follow me in which part of life that I happen to be meeting these certain people in. I got a few more, I guess, right now, half the people call me Hitch. So,
yeah.
It's ongoing,
Yeah, it's ongoing. A lot of nicknames. Hey, as long as they don't call you late for dinner, TR, that's all that matters. Right? That's the way I go. Quick break. We'll come back. We got 5 questions and more. It's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
When you look at a pipe, you just see
no
a pipe.
surprise.
But at GS Construction, we know it's not just a pipe. It's the future water flowing to a growing family's home, or the sewer line for a new school. At GS Construction, we know every trench we dig connects people to what matters. And if you'd like to be part of that vision of making a better future, we're hiring. Right now, GS Construction is looking for experienced foremen to join our team. So apply today at gsconstruction.ca. GS Construction, underground with purpose. You've got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need: Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939, we're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
It's the Bricks Great Canadian Staycation Sale. This long weekend, score hot summer savings like up to 25% off outdoor furniture and free local delivery on outdoor furniture purchases of $4.99 or more. Mattresses start at just $149 and queen-size beds start at just $299. Save up to $1,000 off genuine leather sofas and sectionals. Plus, save the tax when you buy 2 or more major kitchen appliances. The Brick, saving you more.
The Hoop City 3x3 Festival has taken over the Ice Palace at West Edmonton Mall, now through August 3rd. See professionals and Olympians battle for ranking points and cash prizes in 3 different FIBA 3x3 events. Free admission. Details at sports1440.ca.
Oodle Noodle origins. In 1864, Francis Oodle took over his dying father's business as a leatherman. He was quite proficient, but his heart was never truly in the trade. After his father's death, Oodle met a cocksure young man named Vladimir Nudell, who was a trailblazer in the popular new art of food boxes. They formed a partnership and aimed to ply their trade in the new world. At Ellis Island, Nudell was renamed David Noodle, and henceforth, the franchise has been known as Oodle Noodle.
Back by popular demand, the Operation 36 Junior Golf Program at Cattail Crossing Golf Club. Designed for kids ages 5 through 17, it combines instruction and on-course play, focusing on technique, strategy, and course management. Taught by certified CPGA pros, only $325 for 4 weeks of instruction, plus 4 9-hole rounds of golf. Operation 36, Wednesdays 5:30 till 7:30 p.m. through August. Register at cattailcrossing.ca. Click on Junior Program or call 780-973-6686.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantork. What's the best way to beat the tariffs? Buy Canadian. Cantork's products not only made in Canada, but right here in Edmonton. Save money, support Canada at Cantork.com.
Hat tricks, touchdowns, and home runs. Get it all with the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
450. Welcome back, Gregor Halley, Declan Kruger, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. If you missed it, the Toronto Blue Jays have made some trades. No surprise, but they get 3 pitchers. They also get a first baseman, kind of a depth bat, and away you go. The Bieber trade's probably the most interesting one, of course. Former Cy Young winner back in 2020. He really hasn't pitched much in the last 2 years. He's coming off Tommy John surgery. He's now rehabbing, and it's a big if, but man, if that guy can come back and look good, that's a huge addition to your team. And then I'd be curious, who do they take out of the starting rotation? Can you really take Lauer out of the starting rotation right now? I don't think it can, TR. The guy's been just throwing bullets, man. Like, he's been one of their more consistent pitchers. So it's a long time to go, but it'll be interesting to see if they go to, because you got Barrios and you got Bassett and you got Gosman, you got Scherzer, and then you got Lauer. I know that Lauer's not the biggest name, but he's being really good.
And you might have Manoah. You never know.
Yeah, I think if you have Manoah, he's more coming out of the bullpen. That's what I would guess.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. You're right. I guess I'm just saying we add him to the mix. Yeah, but he'll be bullpen for sure. You're right. But I'm kind of excited because with the Blue Jays at Bieber, is it today? I haven't seen much, man. I've been busy, but I did track the Jays, and you see comments online. You're always going to get polarizing comments, but then they can only do so much. They go out and try, and if someone's not there, they're not there, and you got to start. And I think it was an educated guess, an educated chance that they took, and why not? I'm sure it wasn't lack of diligence or anything. You're trying to get players, and they got a good. They got another good arm yesterday. What's his name again? I forget.
Dominguez. Yeah, he's good.
Dominguez, right? And then they're doing well. And God, it's funny. People snapping. I mean, I know they lost 4 in a row. That happens. 162 games in the year. They're still way up. They got a good team, and they brought in some people that can possibly really, really, really help them. And I mean, they had to do something, and they did. Unfortunately, Roger Clemens is retired, and all the great players on the other teams are there because they don't want to be traded. It's just there's only so many people available, and I think they did a valiant job.
Yeah, well, you look at Louis Varland coming out of Minnesota, man. Like, he's been excellent. He's got a 2.02 ERA and 49 innings of work. He struck out 47 batters and has only walked 13. And he doesn't give up many deep balls. I think he's only allowed 3 home runs. So, and he's got, I think, 4 or 5 pitches. Right? Can knuckle curve and a sinker and a slider, and obviously can throw a fastball. So I actually like him a lot out of him and Dominguez in the bullpen, I think. And now you add a starter, and, maybe it comes September, one of your starters is going to come out of the bullpen as well. Like, the Jays strengthened the weakest area of their team, which is pitching. They can hit with anybody, right? So that they got enough guys, they got enough bats, and now that Vladdy, like he normally does, is starting to hit with more power in the second half of the season. That's a big boost to them. And, and the other advantage is they're in the lead, right? They're ahead of the Yankees. They're not in chase mode, right? They're 3.5 up on the Yankees, and they're 5 up on the Red Sox. So they're in a pretty good position here coming down the final. What do we got? 50 games left for the Jays. So just under a third of the season. So should be great. Let's get to 5 questions now, brought to you by The Brick. Saving you more. That's what they do at The Brick. Furniture, mattresses, appliances, and big screen TVs. The Brick and thebrick.com.
It's time for 5 questions on the Jason Gregor Show.
All right, gentlemen. As we know, Summer McIntosh won her 3rd gold medal at the World Championships today. So right now, who are your top 3 Canadian athletes?
Ooh, that's a great question. Well, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, man, he just won everything in basketball. So that Connor McDavid guy is still pretty good. And yeah, I might go Summer McIntosh because of how dominant she is. So those would be my 3.
Well, my 3 favorite would be Alex Newhook of the Montreal Canadiens, Maggie Connors of the Toronto Centers, both from Newfoundland, and of course Connor McDavid. And I'll tell you this, that's something that just happened. We don't talk about it much. that Four Nations Cup was everything, and I know it was Four Nations. I know all nations weren't involved. It wasn't the Olympics. That was a big goal that Canada needed, man. It was a big goal. And because the Oilers went straight to the playoffs and they lost, I think a lot of people are losing sight. But over time, you asked me my favorite, I think there is good reason. I'm not just saying it because he's the best hockey player in the world. This was the most captivating thing that happened hockey-wise for me all year. Everybody's got an opinion, and that's why I'm saying McDavid this year. The other two are good Newfoundlanders. If I had to go fourth, I'd go Katie Vincent, canoeist that I had on my podcast. I was very interested by her determination and focus. So there you go. I'm going to go a bit off the map.
If I may, I'm going to throw in hammer throw. Ethan Katzberg and Cameron Rogers, both first in the world, Olympic gold medalists, both of them, and world champions in 2023.
Nice.
So those guys crushing it. Question number 2 for you. We talked Miami Dolphins today. When you look at Tua in the quarterback power rankings, what position would you have him in?
Oh, exact. I wouldn't have him anywhere near the top 10. It's unpredictable. Hopefully, I think it's in there. I'm still not beyond being uncomfortable when he's playing. And then just, he gets injured and they're the worst kind of injuries. And he's great at times and then he can be inconsistent. I don't know where I'd put him exactly, but it wouldn't be in the top 10.
It's probably fair. Because, if we just look at the best quarterbacks, right? There's Patrick Mahomes and no order, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts. Right, man, Jaden Daniels had an unreal year last year, but it's 1 year, so we'll see. Baker Mayfield, I put him probably ahead of Tua. Who else? I'd put Justin Herbert ahead of Tua. But Dak Prescott probably ahead of Tua. Jordan Love. So I'm going to put him, maybe Goff. I'm going to put him 13.
All right. I think both answers fair. Question number 3 for you guys. This will be your personal preference, but who do you think had the best trade deadline in the majors?
Ooh, good question. Well, it's hard for me to not go with Seattle. They didn't give up any of the real top guys, and they got a real big masher that they needed, and got a relief pitcher as well, which is always good. So I'll go with them. But man, there's lots of contenders. So if I only pick one, I'm going to go with them. But man, there's lots of teams that I thought added and just going to make this race unreal.
I don't know enough about, and I do follow baseball, but I've just been busy the last couple of days, and I know a lot of things happened today. But what I will say is I'll reiterate that I was most focused on the Jays, and I think they did pretty well. I do.
Question number 4 for you both. We know Leon Draisaitl marrying his lovely fiancée Celeste in the near future. I don't know exactly when, but what do you guys think is the best wedding gift you can give to a newly married couple?
Well, if you're asking me the best wedding gift so I guess you're asking for, the most popular, what I would think most people would go for. It's someone that's really close.
What you think, like what in your eyes, what would be the best gift that you could give someone?
It would depend who it is. People close to me, it would be something personal from our past. But if you're asking me overall, what makes people happy, I would think money. I mean, most people aren't Leon Draisaitl, and most people spend too much money on the wedding. So I don't think in that case money's insensitive or generic. I just think people need it.
All right. It's the best gift. Well, I do a gift that I give to my friends at a wedding, but I don't want everybody to do it, so I'm not going to say it. So it's very different than what other people, and a lot of people quite appreciate it because it's a gift that they get to use time and time again. So I don't know if you can have a best gift. Terry's right. I think, as some couples will be different than others. And money's never a bad thing simply because lots of people do spend a ton of money. But I guess if they do have like a wedding gift chart, what do you want to call it, where they've registered somewhere, then I would just say, hey, that's obviously what they want, so I'll pick something off of that. Kind of makes it easy, right? Because if people are setting up now, lots of people now on average I think the marriage age now is 33 for men and 31 for girls or something like that. So it's gone up. So, some people have had their own place for a little bit longer. So I think it changes and varies. All I know is Cons, I think the problem with weddings is it's become like this big money industry. People think you got to spend way more on a wedding, or they got to have a destination wedding. Everybody's supposed to spend $3,000 just to go see you get married. Like, not a fan of that. Just have to say, get married where not everybody's spending a boatload for your wedding.
Very fair. Final question today. It is National Chili Dog Day. Are you a fan of them? And also, just in general, what is the best way to cook up a hot dog? We're talking style and toppings.
For me, my favorite hot dog in the world, my favorite place to have a hot dog would be a baseball game, but it's Chien Show in Montreal. The hot dog, just a regular hot dog at a Habs game, or Nordiques used to have the same thing. I mean, I'm sure they're all over Quebec. I'm just saying they're unique. Just the hot dog. It's the bun is unique. The sausage or wiener is unique. Anybody would tell you that's had it. I must have gone through 2,000 of them by this point. So they would have to be my favorite in volume alone.
Favorite hot dog. Well, I guess if I'm picking one, barbecued. I like it a dog barbecued more than boiled, but also I'll go with that. Toppings, I'm pretty simple. I like just ketchup, mustard, and a little bit of relish. No onions. I'll be honest. I don't think I've ever had a chili dog, and if I have, I don't remember it. So I just find a chili dog is gonna be really messy. I want to enjoy the hot dog without worrying about am I going to spill it all over me. So not a big chili dog fan.
At Texas Rangers games, forget the name of the stadium. Well, like there's so many different, and I'm sure maybe this is all over the place now. You can get so many things, but I like, because I always said to myself, I'm like, chili. I get it. Chili's not bad, but I don't know who put those two things together. You could put a can of tomato soup on there too. I guess you could put so many things that are similar. You could put stew all over it, I guess. But I do like to load up. I remember that place having so many options, like from, crispy onions to lettuce. Not that I used that, but all kinds of different things. The chicken chipotle, the Fiesta hot dog. I mean, there was like 100 of them. It was almost mesmerizing. But I suppose I would say I love to load it up, but never been with chili either. I don't see how those two things come together.
Yeah, I'm not a big chili dog guy. Cons, are you?
I've only had one in my lifetime, and I was 6 or 7 years old, so that probably tells you I haven't gone back to it. I'm not opposed to it. One day I'll give it another go, but for me, I love the ballpark dog. TR, that was a good answer, but I'll say camping, all I need is ketchup. Just out by the campfire, cook up the wiener, and it's nice and simple.
By the way, Con Man, that's a good answer. Is that a Canadian thing? Because when I was in the States and when I first went down and I brought up ketchup on a dog, people were like, no, it's mustard. And I'm like, mustard goes sometimes, but that's kind of secondary, isn't it? But a lot of people didn't even know. They're like, what are you doing? Put ketchup on there. It's mustard go-to down there. Is it ketchup here, or is that just you and I's personal preference? I never really got around to figuring out the answer.
Well, we'll ask our listeners, but I don't know. I'm a ketchup guy in my hot dog for sure. I don't just put ketchup. I like ketchup, mustard, and I really like hot dog relish, which is of course a combination of relish and mustard. That is unreal.
That is, yeah. You're making me hungry is what you're doing. Mm-hmm. You're making me hungry.
Yeah,
at some point I got to eat tonight.
Declan, do you eat ketchup on your hot dog? Yeah, he's got a thumbs up. So I'm out of our listeners. Like now this one, hey guys, you know what an unreal hot dog topping is? Hickory sticks. Game changer.
Oh. I can see how that would be. Yeah, like I'd like to experiment with that. I'm going to give it a try. Whoever that is, I hope you're still listening. I'm going to try, and I'll report to you guys next time. I'm going to have some hickory sticks. What else should I put on it? Ask them. Please relay the message. It can't just be hickory sticks. And, with that, mustard or ketchup makes a huge difference. You got to go with the right sauce on top of the hickory. I wouldn't know what to go with. Mayonnaise maybe and relish? Let me know.
Mayonnaise. It's fine. I've never put mayonnaise on a hot dog. Can't say it's bad because I've never done it, but I've never have done it.
No, but with hickory sticks, it might fit better than mustard. I don't know.
Chef at the Fairmont Hotel. Boiling the wiener before barbecuing is a game changer. Ooh. So you boil it, then you barbecue it.
I'm learning a lot.
Oh,
never thought of
done
it.
that one either. But that one.
Yep.
Have you ever had a Costco hot dog? Because they're unreal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
God.
might be the best hot dog now that we're talking about it. God, actually, I'd never had a Costco hot dog until 2 years ago. I didn't even know it was a thing. Because I didn't really go, until you have kids and you're married, you don't go to, like, how many single guys go to Costco? You don't have enough, like, you're not buying enough. Like, even if I'm hosting a party, I would just go to the store. I wasn't going there. But man, I remember the first time, you got to try it. I'm like, what are we talking about? So I tried. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, the Costco hot dog is good, real good. But I like this idea of the boiling and the barbecue. I'm gonna have to try.
I can't believe we're getting so much hot dog advice. I mean, you would think there's only so many ways to do a hot dog, but I've already right now going right to the hickory sticks, and I'm going to boil it and then barbecue it before the hickory sticks go on there.
Well, TR, we expect a book report, audio version next show about the boil barbecue hickory stick hot dog. Maybe send us a picture too.
I certainly will. Thanks for the recommendation. I'll see you guys. Thank you, Connor. Thank you, Declan. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Edmonton. I'll see you guys in just a few days.
There you go. Let's take a quick break. We'll get to Spec next. It's the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Sports 1440 update brought to you by 01 Hockeyology. If you're looking to improve your game on the ice, off the ice, they got off-ice training, on ice, shooting, skills work, edge work, skating, all of it, small area drills. Check it out. Sign up at 01.ca and get a month membership for only $300. 18 on-ice sessions. It's a great deal.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Toronto Blue Jays active at the trade deadline, bringing in former Cy Young Award winner Shane Bieber from the Guardians for pitching prospect Kyle Steven. Bieber is working his way back from an April 2024 Tommy John surgery. Team also acquiring catcher Brandon Valenzuela from San Diego for third baseman Will Wagner, and bringing in pitcher Louis Barlin plus first baseman Ty France from the Twins for Kendrick Rojas and Alan Roden. For all the other trades, at MLB.com. On the diamond tonight, you got the Braves and the Reds meeting in Cincinnati in about 3 minutes, and later on, Mariners hosting the Rangers. Earlier today, Yankees get past the Rays 7-4 in town. Riverhawks in action, looking to make it 3 straight against the Night Owls. First pitch just after 7 down at Remax Field. In the CFL, week 9 kicks off with Ottawa taking on Calgary. In the NFL, you have the Hall of Fame game, LA Chargers taking on the Detroit Lions. In one game in the WNBA today, the Valkyries visiting Washington to tip off in 30 minutes. We can make it 3 world championships, 4 gold medals for Canadian swimmer Summer McIntosh, as the 18-year-old won the women's 200-meter butterfly today, just shy of the world record. Coming up in hour 4 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by Mark Spector of Rogers Sportsnet and discuss the Blue Jays trade deadline with Thomas Hall. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
On the rocks, the party never stops.
Check it out.
Mondays.
Oh, man, there has been a floor. We roll through, and man, there's
karaoke.
With salsa lessons on Thursdays and the best Latin DJs.
We'll get to 5 questions more on Gregor Show.
Saturday and Sunday, along with DJ Kenny K.
Hold on, let's not forget $5 happy hour 7 days a week.
When you talk
on the rocks.
On the rocks.
Jack Crab and 118th.
When you come experience Edmonton Stingers Pro Basketball, Friday, August 1st. It's the most affordable, family-friendly, fun sports experience in the city. Tickets start at just $20. thestingers.ca.
Is your company drowning in paperwork and administrative tasks? Do you need more data to make better decisions? Nectar.io is your company's all-in-one solution for fleet and materials management, safety, time cards, and GIS-based project management. Now is the time to capture and transform field, site, and shop data into boardroom-level business intelligence, all with one login. Visit Nectar.io to book a demo today. Nectar.io, your business made better.
Since 1963, Bashaw Concrete Products has been helping Albertans complete projects of all sizes. The highest quality ready mix and grout, septic tanks made to last, prompt delivery. Like I said, they're always happy to help. In fact, they'll even find you a nearby concrete finisher for your next project. Maybe it's a foundation for a home or a shop floor, or you're thinking decorative concrete. Nice. they'll recommend someone as dependable as Bashaw Concrete Products. Visit bashawconcrete.com and follow them on Facebook.
Diablo Boots sells only Canadian-made work and biker boots made by Canada West. No American or boots made in China, so no tariffs. All of Diablo's boots have replaceable soles and heels for longer life. Sizes 6 to 14 triple E. Buy quality, buy Canadian. And support Canada West and Diablo, the two best names in the boot business. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Buy Canadian. They're terrific.
The 8th annual Oilers Nation Open tees off Friday, August 29th at 9 a.m. A Texas scramble with fellow golfers, sports fans, and maybe even a few local personalities. Great shots, cold drinks, and a great cause. Gregor's Grads. Sign up at nationgear.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Elks Nation, 2 weekly podcasts with Eddie Steele and Declan Kruger breaking down the green and gold, the most in-depth double E football coverage available on YouTube and anywhere you get your podcasts.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Just after 5 o'clock, Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Declan Kruger with you. Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, The Gregor Show, always presented by our title sponsor, PlayAlberta.ca, where you can get in the game, use the promo code Gregor50. Get a free $50 play. Or for the summer, use Summer 100 with a $20 deposit, and you'll get a $100 casino play at PlayAlberta.ca. And I like, hey guys, thankfully I listen to your show. Hot dog info overload from Painter and Fort Mac. Yeah, why not? That kind of came out of nowhere. And some interesting hot dog ideas. I'm very intrigued by the boil and then barbecue. Has me intrigued. Not gonna lie, not at all. Let's get to the spec report. Brought to you by GS Construction, your underground infrastructure specialists. I don't know if they specialize in hot dogs, but they specialize in simple things. A lot of times you don't even know. They're underappreciated, but extremely important to just keep things going in your community and on the roads. GS Construction is Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet. Joins us. Spec, how you doing? What do you like on your hot dogs?
Well, you know, it's funny you have that conversation. That guy with the hickory sticks hit home for me because Shelka, when I met Shelka, she came off the farm in Thorsby. And the first time we barbecued a hot dog over a fire, she crushed up some plain chips and put them on there. So you put on your ketchup, your relish, your mustard, like we all do. Then you take a little handful of chips and you squish them all up and you put it on that hot dog. Oh, that was a total game changer. So Mr. Hickory Sticks is onto something there.
Ooh, yeah. I haven't had hickory sticks in a long time. I can tell you that. But I could see, can I put can I put all ranch crunched up on there?
Whatever you want, man. Whatever you want. It's that crunchy chip thing, though. It's a totally changes all your hot dog completely, man. It's a beauty.
Oh, I like it. Trade deadline in MLB today, man. It was busy. There's teams making moves all over the place. The Yankees, it's 7 different players they got now. You had the Twins traded away 9 guys in 4 days, which is mind blowing. Seattle gets the biggest bopper of the deal. There's lots of good pitchers. Texas, you go through Detroit. You look at this now. I don't. It's early. It's hard because there was so many deals to say, geez, which team do I think improved the most? Is there an obvious one for you that you like to trade for a team the best?
I mean, the guy I loved was Suarez, third baseman, and Seattle got him, right?
Yeah.
Out of Arizona, and they also got a really good pitcher out of Arizona. So, they didn't do as much volume. They only got a few guys, but they got good players. So that's nice. I always cheer for Seattle. They're kind of Blue Jays West, right? After that, like, I don't know. You tell me, Jay, if you need 7 guys to win the pennant or compete or whatever it is, maybe your team's not very good. How about that? Like, what the hell?
They've had a lot of injuries, so they weren't afraid. But I was surprised. You know who? Like the Dodgers got Alex Call, but the Dodgers, maybe I missed some, but the Dodgers didn't do a massive amount. Maybe they obviously believe that a lot of their injured guys are coming back.
Yeah,
that's what's interesting to me. But like the Yankees, hey, they got a reliever that you need a closer, so. It's a pretty important position to get Bednar from the Pirates. And the Pirates, it's funny. They traded away a lot of guys and people thought they still had 3 or 4 they could have traded, but opted not to. So at some point, you want to keep some players, but it is this deadline. I'm reading it online. A lot of people thinking maybe it's, the insiders like, wow, this is the busiest deadline that they can remember in MLB. And it makes sense because there's no one dominant team. There's just lots of really good teams.
There are, for sure. So it goes to figure that there's a whole bunch of teams that think they got a chance. So I like that. Baseball is, way more than hockey. Like, I think it's a good juxtaposition. Hockey has a cap, and, any market, theoretically should be able to compete. What we see in baseball is the same markets are sellers every year. Pittsburgh's always going to be a seller, right? If I'm a Pirates fan, I'm waiting for him to trade, who's their ace, Paul Skeen. I'm waiting for him to get moved. Like, I guess my point is, I don't love a cap, but I don't love what happens in Major League Baseball where the same small market teams just don't have a chance to win. KC's probably one of them. Certainly Pittsburgh's one of them. There's a handful of teams that they're just feeder teams for clubs like the Yankees and the Dodgers and, whoever's got money. So don't love that. But I do love an active deadline today. And we're going to have to figure out who's playing where here down the stretch. But there's a whole bunch of teams that got a whole bunch of belief today. And that should make for a pretty interesting August, September.
Well, the reason the Pirates are never competitive is because their owner doesn't care about winning. He just cares about getting all of his money in shared revenue. And he makes a lot of money and doesn't care. Like, it's embarrassing. Like, I would like them to somehow, there's got to be something to encourage. Like in NHL, at least the bottom teams, like, okay, we're rebuilding, we're gonna have a few tough years, but you're not getting a lot of money in revenue sharing. But the guy in Pittsburgh is just like, all I care about is the money I get in revenue sharing. I have no interest in winning. Like, it blows for me. Like, I got no time for the Pirates right now. Like, no.
I know, and it's a proud franchise too. Anyone who's my age certainly grew up with the Pirates are one of the best teams in the world. I mean, those old Pirates, the We Are Family Pirates that won the World Series in '79, man, with Bill Matlock and, Kent DeCulvey and Dave Parker and Willie Stargell. Like, those are great. I mean, anyway, there's a ton of history in that franchise. And they have, for anyone who's out there who wants to go to a major league park that maybe you haven't tried, that park in Pittsburgh is absolutely picturesque, man. It's a great night to go to that ballpark. So,
like, honestly, it might be just from scenery, everything around it. Also, they got the greatest statues outside. It might be the best park I've ever been to.
Yeah. You walk. So you're in downtown Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's not very big. I know you've been there, Jay. Most of our listeners likely haven't. Who goes to Pittsburgh, right? The downtown's small. It's not that big a town, Pittsburgh, but it's got a lot of character. It's got all the rivers, like the old stadium was Three River Stadium, right? Three River Stadium. There's tons of rivers. It's a beautiful city. You walk it. They close the what do they call it? Is it the Roberto Clemente Bridge?
Yep.
So they close the bridge to traffic on a game night. So you walk from downtown, from your hotel or whatever. You walk across this beautiful bridge. There's guys selling you peanuts. There's buskers. Guys are selling knockoff jerseys and stuff. You walk to this beautiful ballpark. You sit there somewhere in the horseshoe behind the plate. You look over the outfield fence. You see the downtown skyline of Pittsburgh. It's a beautiful night. Like, oh my God, it's its own Dodger Stadium in its own way. You know what I'm trying to say?
Oh, buddy, honestly, like when I went there, I was like, This is the best stadium I've ever been to. Honestly, like I loved it. I really loved it. Now I haven't been to Boston, and that's a place I really want to go to. But just and Boston's more about being inside of Fenway and everything. And I don't know where it's situated. And I've been to San Francisco, and I like San Francisco. You know, they're right on the bay, but where you sit, you can't see. Pittsburgh is different, man. Like you can look out, and it's just unbelievable. I thought it was a fantastic stadium, everything about it. So yeah, any baseball fan, like if you're going on a trip and you're a baseball fan, you want to go watch, I would highly recommend going to Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh's an underrated town. Like I've been to, I'm happy and I'm very lucky to say I've been to certainly all of the NHL cities and a bunch of other ones. Pittsburgh's underrated, man. I'll go to Pittsburgh any day. Like you know, a lot of good stories, a lot of good times. When my career ends and I think back at some of the really fun dinners and nights, and there's a little bar there we came to love. A lot of those nights are in Pittsburgh, boys. It punches above its weight on the fun meter, man.
I like that. That's well said. The Edmonton Elks went down to practice today, and you know, they're upbeat. You know, working on a lot of things. The you know, defense, we've seen some changes. They're going to swap their Sam linebacker and their safety because I think Garn's a little bit better of a cover guy at safety with Mechie out. He'll be out for probably just one more week, but you know, Nick Anderson is out. He's going to go on the 6th game. Mathis is going on the 6th game, so kind of stinks for them. You got Bo Levi Mitchell and the Tiger Cats coming in. It's going to be a really hot day. It's going to be a great day. Get your sunscreen. It's going to be a perfect day to watch a game on Saturday at 1:00. But you know, you look at the Elks, and you know they've been in games at times, and then their inexperience crushes them. But just the important spec of a win right now, and I don't care what fashion, they could be the ugliest win of the season. I just think that team's got to win badly.
Well, it reminds me a little bit of the Oilers in their awful years, a decade of darkness. You know, they bring in a new GM and they bring in a new coach, they bring in new players, and those guys would say, hey, it's our first year here, you know, give us a little time. And all of us who'd been covering the team and all the fans in the city would say, give you a little time. This has been a loser team for 7 or 8 years here. Like, get moving. And those poor guys always had to bear, you know, carry the burden of all the failure that preceded them, that they had nothing to do with. And I guess I'm saying this crop of the Elks is the same thing. Like I'm like that. I look at the Elks and I go, I'm frankly worn out on trying to dig the positive out of a loss and say, well, you know, the defense stunk, but boy, the offense was good, or vice versa, or gee, the special teams. You know what? I admit it. I'm worn out with a team that has one win as we approach August. It's been like that for too many years in a row. I get it. There's new coaches. There's new players. The last 5 years aren't their fault, but it is their problem. And I think the rest of the city's like me. Just tell me when you got a good team, and don't quit telling me that you're going to one day be a good team. Is that too harsh?
No, I can understand how people think that way, right? Winning's infectious, losing is infectious, and the infection from losing seems to impact you infinitely worse and longer than it does winning, right? It's funny, teams that win, even then people kind of get a little bit, you jeez, do I have to? They almost take it for granted. No one takes losing for granted, but people will take winning for granted. Yes. No doubt about that.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. When you're losing, you want to dig out of that hole right now. And hey, listen, the Eskimo / Elks fan, they deserve it. They've put up with a bad team for a long time. They deserve better. And a beautiful Saturday afternoon at Commonwealth Stadium. Like, what a great day. Go down and watch your football team. The Ticats, they're a traditional old CFL team. I'm telling you right now, that Ticats road uniform is one of the great uniforms in my lifetime. When I see that uniform, I think CFL all the way, and all the great players who wore it. But you know what? It's hard to get real excited when your team's won in whatever they are again.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair. Like you got to find a way to pick up a win, and in any fashion. Doesn't have to be pretty. And what the Elks need to do is, like, they're not experienced enough, so they can't get away with some mistakes that other teams make, because you know we made a mistake, but then you know what, they'll make 4 really good plays and it makes up for it. They're just not there yet. And like last game, you look at the mistake on the fumble that gets turned over because of the no yards penalty. Then on the contact and the kicker that should have been a first down, that one gets negated. Like those little plays, that's the difference between winning and losing right now for the Elks. That tight.
For sure. Absolutely. When you look at, I think you're talking to me the other day about their video sessions, how they're kind of singling guys out for big mistakes. And there's no question, right? There was that third down play against Saskatchewan where it was like 3rd and 2. And I'm not sure Saskatchewan even had a play called. They just went to the line hoping to draw some sucker offside. And some guy on the Eskimos defense jumped offside. Thank you very much. 5 yards, first down, touchdown. So those are big mistakes. There's no yard penalty after no yard penalty. Those are big mistakes, man. That's all there is to it. There's missed assignments, blocking assignments that had Fajardo running for his life all night long. Those are big mistakes. So listen, it's a game of mistakes. Football, guys screw it up. Things happen. Guys make plays on the back of other guys' mistakes. I get all of that. But if you're the team that constantly gives up the big mistake, you're also the team that's going to lose every night. That's just how the sport works.
It's very true. Well, Spec, it's going to be a great day for football on Saturday. Riverhawks tonight and Friday night. And the Stingers are back on this week as well. So from the local sports scene this weekend, it's an unreal weekend. Friday, Sunday for Stingers. You got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday for the Riverhawks. Elks are Saturday afternoon. So with the weather outside, it is a perfect time to enjoy a little local sports.
Oh boy, and the Riverhawks, I think they had 7,000 people on a Tuesday night. So I'll tell you, the only thing the Riverhawks could do better is find a league that gives them more home games. I think that's the only thing they could do better, because they are absolutely killing it in every fashion. Are they going to make the playoffs? I don't even look at their standings.
They're making the playoffs. It's just a matter of will they have so it's a weird format, but who's ever the home team, the higher seeded team, 1 or 2, they will get games 2 and 3 of the series, whereas if you're 3 or 4, you'll get game 1 of the series.
Okay.
So they'll either start on the road next Friday or at home for game 1. It's going to be one of the two, but they're in the playoffs.
Okay, well, great. And good for them. And you know what? It's kind of ironic. We look at the Elks and we say, we don't care that much what's going on, just win. And I look at the baseball team and I say, I don't care that much if you win or lose. Just give me a good time when I go to the ballpark.
Right? It's kind of a new, it's a little bit different atmosphere for sure. But yeah, so. Or you're just a hypocrite, Spec. One of the two.
Well, there's always that, Jay.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Okay, buddy. Have a good one. That's the Spec Report brought to you by GS Construction. We'll come back and we'll dig a little bit deeper. Now, it's been an hour, so all the trades have come in. MLB. Who's better? How much better are the Jays? And how big of a risk or reward is the Shane Bieber trade? That's coming up next on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
It's the Brick's Great Canadian Staycation Sale. This long weekend, score hot summer savings like up to 25% off outdoor furniture and free local delivery on outdoor furniture purchases of $4.99 or more. Mattresses start at just $149 and queen-size beds start at just $299. Save up to $1,000 off genuine leather sofas and sections. Plus, save the tax when you buy 2 or more major kitchen appliances. The Brick, saving you more.
All right, man.
Photographers, start your cameras. It's time for Vision Credit Union's annual photo contest. Enter your hometown snapshot and show us what makes your community amazing. Whether it's a view from the farm, a stroll down Main Street, or a weekend at the rodeo, we're looking for snapshots that show off your rural Alberta hometown. Share your photo before September 2nd for a chance to win cash prizes or a donation to your favorite community group. Learn more via Vision's Facebook page or go to whatsyourshare.ca.
Imagine a world where mental health is not a stigma, but a priority. At the Canadian Mental Health Association, we're working to make it a reality. Your donation of time or money at cmha.ca can turn the tide of mental health. Join the movement.
Easy airport parking? Choose Park to Go. Edmonton's top-rated provider on Google. Book self-park or valet and save up to 30% with promo code RADIO. Visit park2go.ca. That's RADIO.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Papa John's. Calling all cheddar lovers, try Papa John's new cheddar crust one-topping pizza for only $17.99. Order online at papajohns.ca or through the Papa John's app.
Hat tricks, touchdowns, and home runs. Get it all with the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Connor Halley, jeez, I never seen him this excited. He's just watching warm up for his Chargers' first preseason game, and all of a sudden he's getting. It's like he's 6 feet tall in studio. All of a sudden, just I can see his head over top of the screens. Woo, did you raise your chair over there, Cons? Just sitting up a little straighter.
Yeah, well, I mean, Declan and I just looked at each other and gave a little fist bump. We're back. I had to check the Chargers' new look. They're debuting the powder blue pants this season, Gregor. So, yeah, I'm trying to see if I like it.
That's the first year of the powder blue pants? Really?
Yeah.
Like, did they have a new uni every year for the Chargers?
They haven't in a few seasons now. I think 2020 was when they debuted the new jersey, and now they have the navy helmet. So they're going to wear an all navy, and then they've got those ugly, as they call it, gold uniforms.
All navy?
The navy's good. The gold.
Really?
Actually, you know what? You're a fan of the bright colors, right?
I do like.
So you might like this one.
All right.
It's
Okay.
something.
I'll check it out and see what happens. All right. Well, we'll find out. We'll look at that. We're going to get to more hot dog talk. We got a lot of text about that, so we'll get to that in a moment. So, what is your unique hot dog topping or just recommendation? Text us 833-401-1440 in our email inbox. We had hickory sticks. A lot of people say game changer. We had our Fairmount chef tell us you boil the hot dog, then you barbecue it. Ooh, nice. Now, if you boil it, then put it in the air fryer, is that the same thing? Probably. I know some of you texting guys do it on the air fryer. It's unreal. So there you go. I like it. Let's talk some baseball. As of course, MLB trade deadline has come and gone, and there is no. If you're a Major League Baseball fan, man, there is no shortage of topics. Lots. I don't even know what the actual Cons. Do we have exactly how many trades were made here in the last 4 days?
Don't have the number right here.
Why don't you go and find out how many it is? Like, it's got to be close to 50. It looks like. And maybe our next guest knows how many it's been. Like, we know how many the Jays made, but I'm just looking in MLB just since Monday. How many trades has there made? Because it just feels like it's just never ending. As Thomas Hall from Blue Jays Nation joined us. Thomas, welcome back to the show, my man. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great, guys. This is the best time of the year for people like me. It was a hectic day, not going to lie, with all the trades that came in. It felt like if there was 50 made, it felt like half of them came in right as the 6 p.m. Eastern deadline came, which, certainly makes for a crazy, hectic time. But yeah, no, I'm happy to join you guys and chat some Jays, man.
What did you make of the Jays? I guess let's start with the Shane Bieber trade. Really hadn't been talked about anywhere, and I understand why. The guy hasn't pitched in the majors barely in the last 2 years due to Tommy John surgery, and he just had a rehab assignment to AA 4 innings 2 days ago. What do you make of that deal?
So it's an interesting one. It certainly addresses a need for the Blue Jays. They definitely needed to add a little bit more starting pitching depth to their roster. Ideally, it would have came in a frontline starter, but there just was very few of those even available. Nobody really even got traded of that type of caliber this year's deadline. So getting a guy like Shane Bieber, who does have a lot of injury concerns with a guy that's coming off Tommy John surgery, but pre-Tommy John, he was an all-star pitcher, a Cy Young Award winner, a front-of-the-line starter. And granted, that was a few years ago, and you gave up a lot in Cal Steven to risk having him on your team and giving yourself a chance to to see if he can get back to that level. But at the same time, you also bring in a guy who's a veteran, has been to the postseason before, should gel really well with the veteran staff that the Blue Jays have. And when he is ready, whenever that ends up being, it seems like that'll probably be around mid-August. At that point, you'll have the option to give some guys a little bit of a break. Maybe in September, you go to a 6-man rotation when you don't have to worry about running an arm short in the bullpen to go with 6 starters. But overall, when you look at the Bieber acquisition, if it hits and if he gets back to the level he was pre-Tommy John, this is now somebody who could start potentially game 1 of a playoff series for the Blue Jays. And ultimately, that's the type of upside they were looking to acquire from the starting pitching perspective at this year's deadline.
And he does have 1 year left, right? There's an option on his deal for the Jays. Is that right?
So it is a player option, but most likely he's going to decline that if he does look really good with the Jays. It has a $4 million buyout, and the option totals were $16 million. So it's really just a matter of, can he get that $12 million difference in free agency? And if he's healthy and looks like the guy he was pre-Tommy John, he's probably going to get that number. But this could also be a scenario where the Blue Jays are able to lay some groundwork and potentially bring him back after this season too.
Yeah. Well, that's like, part of me feels like, this trade is one that isn't maybe just for a 1 year rental.
Right.
No.
Exactly.
Okay.
And if things really work out, then that would be a great scenario for the Blue Jays because he's still 30 years old. He won't turn 31 until next May. And with the way the Blue Jays rotation is constructed here, it could look a lot different in a couple of years. And if Bieber gets back to the Cy Young caliber pitcher he was, and you can work out a long-term deal with him like they did with Jose Barrios in 2021. We also saw the Blue Jays trade for Robbie Ray in 2020 and then bring him back during the ensuing offseason. And if they're able to do that with Bieber, this then gives you more foundation moving forward to build from in your starting rotation.
The other deals, let's start. We knew they had to improve their bullpen. I really like the Dominguez trade for sure, especially when you look at what other teams had to give up afterwards for other relievers. And then what did you make of the deal with the Twins?
Yeah. So like you said, the prices for relievers this year were just insane. They were out of control, especially guys who had control beyond this season. And luckily the Blue Jays were able to dip into that market too, because getting Louis Varland from the Minnesota Twins is a really strong add for this bullpen. He's somebody that adds another element of high velocity to their bullpen, as does Sir Anthony Dominguez. But he's also somebody who profiles well against both righties and lefties. That's an area the Blue Jays were looking to address with their bullpen, because right now they have Brendan Little as their primary lefty. Mason Fluharty has looked really good at times this season, but ideally, especially in a playoff series, you'd like to be able to go to another guy who could get lefties out in a key spot, and Louis Varland is definitely that guy. With his fastball and knuckle curve combo, it plays really well against both sets of hitters, and he also is somebody who induces a lot of ground balls too. So he's not somebody who typically generates crazy amounts of swing and miss and strikeouts, but for somebody who minimizes as many fly balls as he does, induces a fair amount of soft contact, and limits walks too, this was a really good ad for the Blue Jays, and somebody who will be part of their bullpen for many seasons beyond this year as well, because he has club control through 2030.
Yeah, that was the other part of it. Like to me, that's the best part of that trade, is you're getting someone that you feel, and I know the relief pitchers from year to year can look drastically different, because it's still really kind of a small sample size each year of what they're pitching. But it clearly looked like that's a trade that, as much as it was to help now, it's one that helps them for the next few seasons.
Yeah, without a doubt. He is now part of their bullpen core moving forward, somebody that you can count on year to year to be next to Jeff Hoffman, Jimmy Garcia, Brendan Little. That part of the bullpen, is going to be put in place for multiple seasons beyond this year. And, that comes with the price of giving up a package of Kendry Rojas and Alan Roden, which are two really good young prospects with the Blue Jays. But to be able to add a shutdown arm like this at the back end of the bullpen is so priceless. And we saw the trend this year where almost every contender was loading up on bullpen arms at this year's deadline. And for the Blue Jays to be able to jump in on that as well, it certainly bodes well for their chances of being able to go on a deep run.
Talking all things Blue Jays, Thomas Hall from Blue Jays Nation joins us. What did you make of the acquisition of catcher Brandon Valenzuela and giving up young Will Wagner?
Yeah, it certainly caught me by surprise a little bit. Not that the Blue Jays acquired a catcher, because that's an area of their farm system that has gotten really thin over the past number of years, really ever since they traded Gabby Moreno and ultimately traded Danny Jansen last year too. And so to be able to add a guy like him, who now, according to Ross Atkins, is going to go straight to AAA after spending this season at AA in Minnesota's organization, it's a really important addition for this team, because now you're going into next season knowing that Alejandro Kirk is your starter, but you also have a little bit more depth in AAA at AA as well with Jacob Sharp. Edward Uran is also a high riser in the Blue Jays system. So now this adds more of a safety net if you run into any sort of injury concerns like the Blue Jays are currently with Alejandro Kirk currently on the 7-day IL. So giving up Will Wagner was the interesting part of it, because he's somebody that obviously came over from the Yusei Kikuchi deal last season and really took off coming over from the deal. And he's somebody the organization really spoke highly of after the trade, and somebody that unfortunately kind of lost his position with this team following the trade of Andreas Jimenez. That really put Wagner in a bit of a logjam, because he only really plays first base, second base, and a little bit of third. And those are all positions the Blue Jays currently have covered. And on top of that, they were facing a roster crunch with their 40-man, especially after the Louis Varland trade and Ty France element of that as well. And so they needed to create a little bit of space for them to bring in these new guys. Okay. And Will Wagner was somebody that they just really didn't have room for anymore. He ultimately just became the odd man out sort of thing. And, you hope he does well in San Diego and is able to get a little bit more playing time. But, he's certainly someone that the Blue Jays organization is definitely going to miss.
One last one. When you look at all the teams and you've had a chance to see all the trades, is there a team that you feel significantly improved and say, okay, because I don't think before today there was this is a favorite. So do you think there's a favorite now, or did a lot of good teams improve in different areas and there's still no favorite?
Yeah, it's hard to say, because like the American League definitely got better today. The Astros, the Mariners, even the Texas Rangers, what they did, all three of those teams got a lot better and have made that AL West division way more competitive than it was, say, 3 weeks ago. And the Houston Astros are now a team that look pretty scary. Especially if Jeremy Pena comes back off the IL and looks as good as he did before he got hurt. Mm-hmm. The offensive additions that the Seattle Mariners made, bringing in Josh Naylor and Eugenio Suarez to go along with their outstanding pitching staff. And then the Yankees really beefed up their bullpen. And there's still a team that has a lot of flaws. But I think if you're looking for a favorite just on the whole landscape of the MLB, I still probably say the Brewers, the Dodgers, the Padres certainly made waves, and they're looking like a team that is fully stacked on the pitching side of things. But I still think this thing is really wide open. It's there for the taking. And for the Blue Jays, that's exactly the type of thing that you want to see coming out of the trade deadline.
Man, we really appreciate it as always, Thomas. Thanks so much for this. Enjoy a little downtime and maybe go boil and barbecue a hot dog.
Of course. Thanks for having me on, guys. I'll try and catch some of the Chargers preseason game tonight, but it's going to be a lot of baseball coverage.
Basically, you're telling me if you want to have a nap, that's what you're going to do. No, I'm kidding.
Probably. That might be the plan. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, man. Have a good one.
All right. Take care, guys.
There you go. That's Thomas Hall from Blue Jays Nation. We got a lot of texts to get to. Hot dogs and more when we return to the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
The sun is shining, the weather's warm, and some of Edmonton's favorite sports are back in season. If you're looking for the cherry on top of a perfect summer day, check out Play Alberta to experience casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Download the Play Alberta app today and deposit $20 or more with promo code SUMMER to claim a $100 casino bonus. That's promo code SUMMER for a $100 casino bonus on us. Redeemable once per Play Alberta account. Remember, if you gamble, please use your game sense.
Explore Internet just got 10 times faster. 5G Ultra brings incredible speeds to homes in rural and small town Canada. Upgrade today at xplore.ca.
Whoop, there it is. 4 days of basketball at its best. Hoop City 2025, North America's largest FIBA 3x3 showcase. The top 4 Olympic teams on both men's and women's categories, featuring Canada's women's Olympic team, with Edmonton's own Michelle and Catherine Blue. More than just hoops. There's entertainment, long-distance shootout, Grand Slam showcase, plus interactive games and prizes for everyone. Hoop City 3x3 Basketball Festival, on now through Sunday. Ice Palace in West Edmonton Mall. Admission is free, so bring the whole family.
It's happened again, and construction season is in full swing. Job delayed, money lost, and clients disappointed because your rigging failed and it wasn't inspected. Don't let this happen to you. Have your lifting slings, fittings, hoisting tools, and safety harnesses checked with Titan Supply. Titan Supply offers certified on-site and in-house rigging inspections and service, so they can repair it, replace it, and recertify it. Titan Supply in Edmonton, Grand Prairie, Red Deer, and Calgary, and at titansupply.ca. Lift, dig, haul.
Your co-op grow team are your local experts because we live here too. Our agronomic specialists stay up to date with the latest research and technology to help support your entire farm operation. Talk to our team for advice tailored to your farm's needs. We have recommendations to help you optimize your crop yield and quality while enhancing the health of your land. Co-op, we're all growing together. Here for your farm, here for your family. Learn more at coop.crs/farm.
It's the Bricks Great Canadian Staycation Sale. This long weekend, score hot summer savings like up to 25% off outdoor furniture and free local delivery on outdoor furniture purchases of $4.99 or more. Mattresses start at just $149 and queen-size beds start at just $299. Save up to $1,000 off genuine leather sofas and sectionals. Plus, save the tax when you buy 2 or more major kitchen appliances. The Brick, saving you more.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantork. What's the best way to beat the tariffs? Buy Canadian. Cantork's products are not only made in Canada, but right here in Edmonton. Save money, support Canada at cantork.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
$5.48. Cons, I haven't seen these unis yet, so I'll have to see. But we do have a lot of hot dogs, man. It's a big topic on the show today. People are fired up about their hot dogs. Hey, guys, Danish hot dog, pickled herring, and pickled onions. Copenhagen train station. Awesome. From Harry. Pickled herring and pickled onions? No. Can't do it. I couldn't do it, man. Cons, you ever had pickled herring?
No, I learned my lesson on most pickled things I'm not a fan of.
Hey, guys, my wife hates this, but I'll leave a boiled hot dog in the water and eat it cold later, waterlogged. What? From Soft Roll. That is stunning to me.
I get why she hates it.
Yeah, like I've never tried it, so I can't say it's bad. But the thought of it, I'm just like, wow, that's weird. Hey guys, my cousin in Montreal puts peanut butter on his hot dog. I tried it once, wasn't bad, but never do it again. From Spads. I love peanut butter, like I love it, but Peanut butter on a hot dog? I don't know. We've had a lot of people text in mayo on a hot dog. You ever had mayo on a hot dog, Cons?
Yeah, not like a lot, but kind of like just almost as if you're buttering it. Just put in a little mayo there. I've had it that way. Not amazing. It's not terrible.
Yeah. Hey guys, I'm out getting liquor for camping trip this weekend. Automatically stopped to buy some hickory sticks from Jason and Duke. Well, yeah, we need the update after the long weekend from people who tried the hickory sticks on their hot dogs, because I know some of you are going to do it. Why not? I get it. So, hey boys, you can get salt and vinegar hickory sticks now. What? God, those would be popular, I would think.
Those have been out for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. The hickory
Really?
sticks are, yeah. Years. Definitely.
Okay. Are hickory sticks making a comeback? I'm just not like, I don't even see them anywhere. Where do you get
Are you a
hickory
fan?
sticks? I didn't love them. I like them like once every few years kind of thing. Right? But I couldn't eat hickory sticks regularly. Like I'd eat a bag of chips or something. No.
I find them messy. They're at the dollar store. Maybe I'll grab a bag tomorrow.
Hey boys, hot dog at the Elks of the Riverhawks, loaded with pickles, tomatoes, jalapenos. The best. All right. Hey guys, chili dogs are awesome, just not very common in these parts, especially with the mild, spicy queso sauce. Is it pronounced queso?
Queso?
Queso. Yeah.
Queso?
See, I knew I screwed it up. Queso. There you go. I do like this one, guys. Sorry to take you away from hot dog talk, but I don't care how long it takes. If it's 5 years, we need to get a salary cap. Sincerely, long-suffering Pirates fan, Craig and Red Deer. You're not wrong. And I will say this. The fact that the commissioner floated it out there and you had some players getting all upset, trust me, it's coming, Cons. It's only a matter of time, because right now they're seeing way too many no chance, and some organizations, it's like, we don't even care to win because I get all my money as an owner. And guess what? I'm going to make even more money when I sell my franchise, because franchise costs are just continuing to rise at an absolutely ridiculous rate. So that's how it's going.
I love it. Like how as a casual fan, how could you not love it? Just something to kind of even up the playing field.
Totally would be. Yes.
Or just get those owners out of baseball.
Yeah. Yeah. There should be, imagine, baseball has enough. Well, you could probably never, why it's never going to work. Cause it started, like a lot of people say, well, why doesn't the NHL, why don't they go to what they do in the Premier League? Right. And you have relegation. Well, here's the difference. They started with that formula, so they've always known it was there. You buy your team in the NHL or the NBA or the NFL, knowing it's going to be 100% in that league, right? It would absolutely crater franchise values. And the owners will never vote for it, because if their team ends up going into that lower league, well, it's a massive dip in everything, revenue, everything. Maybe you never get back. And all of a sudden, like you're talking, Gary Bettman's talking how the next expansion teams are going to be $2 billion. It'll never happen. So salary cap is the way to do it. I know some people don't like that, but that's just how it's going to be. And look at the NHL. It's competitive. You have a few bad teams. You're always going to have a few bad teams under any situation. So also tomorrow we might talk again about McLaurin asking for a trade, because I don't get it, man. He's got a stud quarterback on a rookie deal, an OC who loves getting the ball, and he's their unquestioned receiver one. He's not going to find a better situation. So nobody's going to pay soon-to-be Terry McLaurin considerably more than what he's making right now. I think he's getting bad advice. Bad advice. And I think he ends up playing in Washington, fellas. We'll see, because I don't think they're going to get a trade worthwhile to do. So, and it can't hold out. He loses too much money. Have yourselves a great deal. We're going to see some of the new faces in baseball tomorrow, maybe even some tonight. Have yourselves a great night. Here's a Command Sports 1440 update brought to you by EWEL, your partner in power since 1975. For all your electrical gear, it's one stop, EWEL.ca. Good night.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
Major League Baseball's trade deadline come and gone. 56 trades in the last 4 days. The Jays making some moves, acquiring former Cy Young winners Shane Bieber from the Guardians for prospect Cal Stevens. The team also bringing in catcher Brandon Valenzuela from San Diego, from third baseman Will Wagner, and from the Twins, pitcher Louis Varland, and first baseman Ty France. That cost him Hendricks Rojas and Alan Rodin. For all the other leagues, check out MLB.com. On the field tonight, you got the Reds leading the Braves 3-0 heading into the fourth. Earlier today, Yankees knocked off the Rays 7-4. And later on, you've got Mariners taking on the Rangers in town. Riverhawks in action once again, looking to make it 3 straight against the Night Owls. First pitch, 7 o'clock down at Remax Field in the CFL. Week 9 officially underway. In the first quarter, Stamps and Red Blacks scoreless. WNBA right now after 1. The Valkyries up on the Mystics 30-20. We also have NFL preseason tonight. There's the Chargers and Lions meeting in Canton, Ohio for the Hall of Fame game. And from the pool, you can make it 3 World Championship gold medals for Canadian swimmer Summer McIntosh as the 18-year-old won the women's 200-meter butterfly, just shy of the world record. That'll do it for us here on the Jason Gregor Show. Coming up next, it's Fox Sports Radio all night long. Tomorrow morning, we're back with live local coverage. It's the Kevin Carrier Show. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station.